wasn't like massive, but it was like big enough to where like when we got to like late Saturday and Sunday where it filled out, like there's still room for everyone. And it just looked dope. Stage was good.
It was a good size for. We'll talk about the show. It's a good size for like your average major.
Yeah. Well, here, let's just start
Like
the show
size.
and we'll talk now. Let me put Ray on the screen too.
Okay, cool.
All right, so everybody, welcome to the Codcast. We got a banger episode for you guys post Major 1. We're gonna be talking everything, but first, I just want to ask how you guys are doing. Switch over, and we got something to talk about off the rip. My boy Ben made some heat last night. Decided to post it to the TL. Ben, so I gotta ask you.
I feel myself a little bit. Yeah.
As somebody, you know me, I cook a lot of steak.
Yeah.
Listen, I will say it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And Ray, so this is the perfect group to have on here because I'm a steak connoisseur myself. But Ray's actually the guy that taught me how to make a steak. Legit, Ray taught me how to make a steak. So before I give
my thoughts before Ray weighs in.
Hold on. I want Ray before Ben weighs in to tell me your thoughts on this job right here because I have some thoughts.
I mean, it looks solid.
Yep.
I don't really give a damn about presentation. Like I'm just more looking at like the meat itself. It looks solid. There's a few parts of your meat that kind of look like, I don't want to say your steak was too cold when you started to cook.
Yeah.
But it might, like, you might have been in a rush, and you wanted early to eat and didn't get the full room temp. There's a few parts in the middle that look like, that's like that little glistening kind of look.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
I think all the way through. Yeah.
I mean, I'd eat this 100%.
I'll say like first off, seasoning was great. Like I dry brined it, used the Montreal steak seasoning, it was good. I'll be honest, I got it from Lucky's aunt. And I didn't think the New York strip cut I got was like that good. It didn't like have like a lot of intravenous fat. You know what I'm saying? When I got the strips, I was like, it is going to be a little bit chewy. I also like, was pretty hungry. So like I didn't sit there and
let
like
it rest.
Render the fat cap. No, a little bit. And also render the fat cap as much. So like, I don't know. I just fucking tweeted that. I was like, whatever.
I don't have any problems with the steak.
I made better. I made better for sure.
I have one problem, and it's the blood under the mash, bro. That's my only problem. That's diabolical.
That's fine. It's just juice, bro. It's just
juice. Who cares?
Come on, man. It's all taste. It's all going on the same bowl.
That is my one complaint.
Yeah.
Blood underneath the mash is criminal. But all right. That's the intro.
That's not blood though. It's fucking protein, isn't it?
It's just juice, bro.
I don't know.
It's just juice of fucking proteins. Everybody just thinks the steak's bloody, bro. Like,
all right. But let's talk Major 1.
It tasted plenty good, and then you know what happened is I cooked the steak.
There you go.
I don't know, but I cooked it and checked my steak. I made the steak.
Yeah.
And then I checked my phone afterwards, and I had 95 fucking texts about C9 after I cooked the steak. I was like, what happened to C9 in the course of me making dinner and then eating said dinner? And we'll get to that during the show.
There's Ray, guys. I was hiding him from you guys, but he's here now. We talked a little bit about it. Major 1 was awesome, bro. Like, the venue was sweet. Corey, I got to give a massive shout out to everybody involved. Corey Dunn, his team, Esports Engine, Optic, everybody who brought this to life. Obviously heavy recency bias, but probably the most fun that I've personally had at a major in quite some time. Just from the games, hotel was super nice, venue was nice, just everything, the ease of everything, just I had the ability to just lock in on the games, and I had a really, really fun time. Devs came out, showed some love. Yeah, it was great. What was your opinion on the environment being there, Ben? Overall of Major 1 and kind of what you thought. And also look at the baby.
Oh, that's all right. Speaking of babies,
full head of hair there.
Shout! We should shout Scump. Shout to Scump.
Yes. Also,
and his family.
We're all having kids, bro.
Does that make me a granddad?
Yes, it does.
Well, might.
Man, we're all
shout to Seth.
We're gonna have to bring all the kids to an event soon, dude.
That'd be sick, bro. That'd be funny.
And just take a group photo of all the OGs who all have kids. That'd be so sick.
That'd be awesome.
Shout out to Seth, man. I thought the event was good. I think that's like the perfect size for a normal like event. I think Optic can theoretically, like, if they wanted to and go hard, I think they could go to American Airlines Arena and like really cook. They wanted to type shit. But like this was like considering I think what short term they had the turnaround event. I think they did a good job. It's like the perfect size. It had really good ambiance on Sunday. We were in a box, and the box was awesome because like it was just like a cool chill hangout for over the course of the weekend for a lot of people, which was awesome. Like we had a lot of guests come through, people that are normally in the COD scene, but people that like aren't. Like, we had Shane O'Neill on Sunday. That was cool. I haven't seen Shane at an event in like fucking I don't know how long. Shane's been going to events since like CWL, so to see him was awesome. We had Silky in there a lot over the course of the week, and that was cool. Turns out Silky knows a lot of ball, which is awesome. And it was just kind of cool on stream, like the vibe. I think people really enjoyed all the guests. We had a bit of a tight setup because we were sitting in the seats, so like comfort was fine, but like not ideal. I don't know if I'd run that back again. We did that just out of necessity of the space. And I think for future events, not to spoil too much, but like the DreamHack, Major 4, Champs, I think it's more of like the pen setup you saw at like Dallas and past like last year, Ant.
Yeah.
Where all the watch parties in one area, little mini riser stage in the background, and we're all like collaborating, Are
you talking about like DreamHack?
I thought it was good.
On the side?
Yeah, I'm talking about DreamHack. I thought it was good. The only big thing I had, and I think just again, venue choice, didn't have, really a choice here. There was like one area of the venue that had enough square footage to run challengers, but also enough square footage for partners and sponsors. And I think they had to make a tricky decision on short term. If they had more space, then they could have done both in the same area, and they couldn't. I know, knowing Hector, they probably would have if they could. That was like the one thing, challengers is being down the street, not being in the same venue.
Oh, they had some challenges this event. The production usually have like a truck right by the venue. It was a block down the road, a little bit deep, so they had to do that, and then everybody got in late. I just think the fact that they pulled it off with basically no issues, really. Like, do we really even have any crazy tech plays or any issue? Not really. I thought it was pretty impressive. Ray, from viewing experience at home, what did you think of Major Number 1?
Yeah, from not having been there, goddamn weather, I missed the banger. It was honestly, smooth, no issues. Viewership side was like super easy going. All the watch parties were up. I don't think there was any like you said, there's no tech issues the entire weekend, which is kind of rare. But no, it was honestly probably the most exciting major that we've had since CDL's inception. Obviously the games themselves, like the Sunday itself was just like insane. Like you couldn't have asked for a closer competition. Couldn't really tell who was going to win. It came down to the wire. It was just storylines left and right. Honestly, just like bravo. Like you can't really say there's really nothing like you can say about this that doesn't make it the best event we've had yet. I think my only we can talk about this a little further too when we go through like games and whatnot, but my only trip I would say is game itself. Like the map pool we have kind of showcases how weak it is right now. I would love to see some newer stuff come in to refresh. We kind of been through this like the last couple of years. Like the game kind of becomes stronger as the year goes on because we get some better maps coming in to replace the weaker ones. But I feel like from a viewership standpoint, maybe not from a playing standpoint, but from a viewership standpoint, and I could be tripping because I wasn't obviously part of the viewership side for the last few years, but it feels like the stalest we've had in a minute, especially for search.
Yeah, I could see that. We got a lot of repeat maps in series this weekend. A lot of like back-to-back exposures, mainly. A lot of Scar. So I definitely agree with that. And, talking to the devs a little bit, talking about some of the maps coming in, they think Sake could be a really good map. So hopefully that pans out. And then maybe we bring Fringe in for a search, or I don't know. But going into this next stage, they'll have some options, change stuff around. But yeah, I guess aside from that, I've watched a COD for a long time. It's hard to, get me up out of my seat and excited, just being honest. And Sunday, Ray, the amount of times I stood up like, what the just happened? Like legit, like it brought back like the kiddish hype for COD that I used to have dead ass.
Against FAZE was just absolutely awesome.
We're gonna watch it. I hope I hit them up. I hope they have the video of our reaction on the dude. I was going crazy. That was the craziest back-to-back rounds I've seen in so long.
Anyone
probably ever
in their mind would have reacted that.
That was crazy.
Like the second one where it's the ace and the slide on draws, the final kill was like so crazy. It like took a second to react to it. Like what? That was insane. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna talk about it. But yeah, let's go to Overreaction Tuesday. pull this up real quick, and let's kick
It's
things
Wednesday
off.
though, Overreaction Wednesday this week.
Oh, true.
It
It's
is
not Tuesday
Wednesday,
anymore.
but this is Overreaction Tuesday.
That's all right.
That's the
I get you.
segment.
I feel you. My bad.
That's our
My bad.
shtick. All right.
Also, Ray is Benjay Nassim on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know. Production's
All
messed
good.
up today, dude. We're lagging
All good.
This will be the best CDL season ever, and it won't be close. Competition is at an all-time high. Multiple teams look like they're trending in the right direction. Interest is growing, and the game is fun to watch. We pull the bracket back up. You guys tell me if that's an overreaction or not.
That's not an overreaction. I think my macro takeaway from this event is that I think we have a really good mix of teams that play a risky style and teams that play like straight up, and the couple of these are like very good. And I think that like on top of that, like talent depth is good, roster construction generally across the league is good.
Yeah.
And like we have some clear top teams. We have teams in the next year that can beat those teams. This isn't like an MW3 where there were like 3 or 4 good teams. They never got upset. Like we have a really good parity where, like I'm not surprised that like a Minnesota could get a top 4. I'm not surprised that Toronto with a bad draw can get last. We're going to have one of those years where it's going to be unpredictable and a little wild, and there'll be some top teams that are consistent. But bro, we have the best shot, the best CDL season of all time.
No,
I don't think that's an overreaction.
Thank you.
I think the parity between teams for sure is like one of the forefronts of why I think this will be the best year. Don't get me wrong, the game's awesome. We more or less the gameplay is kind of similar to last year. I think last year was great. I think as the year goes on, I think we're going to see even more teams shift to the faster pace kind of style of COD because, let's be real here. Gentlemates are like pretty far ahead in terms of how you should be playing the game. And it's kind of crazy to me because it was kind of the similar way of playing the game last year that made my team successful, and the other teams at the end of the year that were able to keep up. Like Optic obviously was pace-wise. I don't think we need to go talk about that. But I think as the year goes on, you'll see more and more teams kind of to that style. I think some of the teams that you wouldn't expect being at the top right now are ahead. Like I would kind of like put G2 in that side. Like their sub duos played incredible. Krem's been setting pace all year long. Doesn't he lead Slayer rating still? If not, pretty close.
It's insane. He was second to Joe at one point, but I think he's first after the major.
Yeah, like he's very much kind of like on the same. I would put him on the same echelon as like Neptune in terms of pace. So it's just as the year goes on, I think we're going to see more and more of that. I think you'll see some of the teams that had a rough start to the year kind of catch up to that and play to that mindset. And I think it's going to set up like it's, in my opinion, I'm mostly all saying this because I think it's only going to get better as the year goes on, which is kind of crazy to think about. But definitely not an overreaction. 100% agree.
Yeah, and the reason I put that is just because the plays you can make in this game at individual level are insane. We saw so many search clutches, crazy respawn moments. And like you said, it's the pace. It's so fast, and talent dispersion this year it's pretty good. Like even Riyadh, who I didn't think had like a great major, like went game 5 all the way at FaZe. Like they could have won it. And I think there's so much room to grow with a lot of these teams. And like you guys just both touched on, dude, G2 looked very good, and that's great for the league. It's just another team that's going to be in the mix. So this year, it should. Based on Major 1. This should be the best CDL season ever. Like, based on what we saw from all our teams, the way the game watches, and the content that's coming in. Like, dude, there was like, there's a bunch of devs at the event, like locked in on the games. Like, we have support. We have, the community is popping right now.
Always.
Yeah, like shout out to all of them. They're awesome. Lawrence going up doing the segment, that was great. And then we looked like we pushed towards some records here. We peaked at 353K. Which is up 119K from Major 1 last year, and the average was 178K. Obviously, that looks largely in part due to the Gentlemates. Shout out Gataga, shout out Broken. They came to the event. Brokey Brox, the homies, they showed mad love. And all I can say is their event is going to be absolutely insane.
It's going to be nuts.
It is going.
It's the most interesting COD event of all time, I think.
I briefly talked to them. They came down to the desk, and I just basically asked them about it. They said it's going to be the greatest event ever. Like, that's basically, in a nutshell, that's kind of what they're saying. So I believe them.
I think I don't think we've ever wanted a team. Like, it would be insane if Gentlemen could stay the way they are now. Like, if they can make it the Sunday of that event, it's gonna be the craziest event of all time. Like literally.
So let's give the context. So the rumor is that they are trying to run their event at La Defense Arena, which is the biggest indoor
What's it called?
arena / La Defense Arena.
La Défense.
La Défense. It basically is a indoor rugby stadium is the best way to describe it. They had like swimming at the Olympics there too.
La Défense.
Yeah.
Okay.
La Défense.
Yeah.
Whoa.
My boy, say it with me. La Défense.
La Défense.
Okay, I'm missing with the French. Anyway,
La Défense.
it's basically indoor rugby stadium, but you can configure it a lot of different ways. I think the max cap is like probably 40 plus.
What?
But like realistically, they could scale it to like 20, 30, 15, whatever. Because I think the stands can move in.
This thing is huge.
And like, yeah, it's I mean, listen, it's not the same size as say like, you know, where like the Vikings play, you know, we're talking 60 or 80 indoor with the retractable roof for like SoFi, but it's like,
this is absurd though.
It's big, but it's big. And like you can rig probably everywhere in that ceiling. So you can do some really cool stuff with the stage. Like, I don't think there's a lot of limitations on what you can do in this space. They can very much customize it any way they want to make the capacity. They can fit challengers behind the stage. Like, I think they're going to be able to, if this is where they're going, they're going to be able to do a lot in this space. And if anyone in this league can like figure out a way to get 20,000, 30,000 people in a venue,
yeah,
I think these guys could do it. So I'm real excited. This is where they're going. This is a rumor. So I think probably not.
Their fan base is so passionate. I think us even saying 2030, like I mean maybe I'm out of my rocker here, but I think they could get even more without even blinking twice. Like they want to fill up a 30, 40,000 stadium. I honestly think they could.
I think they could too. I mean, Ray, we played at some of the ESWCs. I mean, obviously it wasn't that many, but it was a ton of people at those events. I mean, they're passionate for COD out there. And whenever Gatago was playing, dude, he was getting mobbed. So
you dropped me before that hit. Sorry.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Well, listen, he's him. Shout out to that organization. Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, we're set up. I mean, the next event is Birmingham, and I'm pretty sure it's already sold out. So there we go.
Birmingham, I was talking to my boy Sean. Shout out Sean and Pete. Like they had to get they built the event, put tickets on sale. They instantly sold out. They're
instantly,
like, fuck. Like, so they did another round. Those sold out. They're like, well, shit. We now can't fit this event in the space that we had. So they have now gotten another space, right? And I think at the time they knew they were also going to potentially run the Resurgence Series. Warzone will be at the event. Challengers. So like, there's going to be a really good corner in that event that's all COD stuff. And I think CDO will have its like own specific hall. Like there will probably be 5,000 or 6,000 people in that room at all times.
Sounds good.
And knowing these Euro fans, like they'll be lubricated. You know what I'm saying? The Guinness will be flowing. It'll sound incredible in broadcast, and I'm really excited to go.
Yeah, it's a dream hack, right? Pretty sure. So
yeah,
that'd be great. What do you guys think this like surge in support and thriving is like credit to? Because like last year, obviously you had a pretty solid year, but we ended the year in Kitchener. The hype didn't feel as crazy. So what do you attribute this year's like upward trajectory to? Sorry, you Ray.
You're saying compared to the end of last year? I mean, I would say last year was pretty strong. No,
it was pretty lit, but it didn't feel like at any point last year we were like ascending like we are start right. This year. You know what I mean? The community's on fire right now.
Yeah, I would say there's storylines around everyone. The parity between teams is definitely an effect on that. Like you watch now and you're not entirely sure who's going to win matches. Optic being Optic and good is obviously helping everything there. I can't really put my finger on anything specific beyond just the games being more enjoyable to watch and the league itself being kind of stronger as a whole. I wouldn't say anything beyond that is like striking me as like way different than before. The interest from the fans, I think there's a lot more content going out there too. Like the challenger scene is kind of blown up a little bit with the Jersey guys coming in, and then as a whole, it just seems like there's more excitement throughout the entirety of things rather than just who's going to win this event. Yeah. There's more to digest, and there's more to kind of to watch throughout everything, which I would assume has some element to this. Like you actually have a reason to be involved with like COD during the week rather than just watching the few matches in the weekend now.
I agree with that. I think challenge is a massive part. Ben, what about you?
I think it's two main factors that are driving, I think, increased like interest and viewership. I think you guys, the Challengers piece is one with Barstool. I think going off of YouTube and being platform agnostic and giving people more choice on how they want to consume is another really good piece. Like, I don't think we should underrate that. There's just a lot of different ways to watch on whatever platform you want with whatever stream or co-streamer you want. There's a lot of choice, and you add that all up, there's a lot. And I think the next thing, which is a great choice out of ownership in the league, is they've made the league more global. And in the last couple of years, we brought in a Saudi organization, we brought in a Spanish organization, and we brought in a French organization. And we are embracing the fact that this was a league where, yeah, the anchor teams were NA stalwarts of Thieves and Optic and FAZE and Envy. But we're now embracing sort of the global flair of Call of Duty. And I think that's bringing in non-English viewers in a meaningful way at the moment.
W take on the world thing for sure.
That's a great take for sure. I agree with that. Yeah, there's a lot of factors pointing to it. And we had an incredible event. But let's move on to the next Overreaction Tuesday. We kind of spiraled there. LAT's problems are more than one player, and one change will not change this team's trajectory. Obviously, tough back-to-back losses. 0-6 map count last 2, 2-8 in map 1s. So I saw Ray reposition himself in his chair as I said this. Am I overreacting? Was that an overreaction? Or what is your take?
Honestly, it's kind of like a middle ground. Like I wouldn't really say there's a clear answer to this. I would argue, like, I think I would maybe go more on the sense of maybe not so much an overreaction. I don't think their issues are necessarily player based. Like, obviously Ken had some rough games. Let's just not, like, there's no reason to circumvent that. Like, if you have a guy dropping those kind of numbers, it's going to be hard to win maps. It's just the way it is. Like G2 is an example. Like, Skies was frying at the start of the week. They smoked FaZe, and then the games that he was struggling on obviously were way harder for them to do well on. Like, it's just every team that has a player that is going to be dropping those numbers is going to have a hard time winning, period. But beyond that, I feel like some of the reasons, not necessarily kind of scapegoating Ken here, but like, I think generally speaking, they're still trying to play the older version of COD rather than kind of what the jailmates and the teams that are playing faster are. They're sticking to a lot of these like separated flank routes kind of style, especially in hardpoint, which to me is just, it makes it very difficult to be consistent on. I'm not saying you can't win that way. Like, you're going to have your chances, but now because of most of the teams that are finding success are adapting, I think there might be a little behind on that end. So that would be the only thing to me that would kind of stray me away from the idea that a change maybe isn't the only problem. Is it going to help? Probably. If everyone's slaying, then, like, if everyone's going positive in a game, you're going to have a chance to win more games than not, regardless of what you're doing on the map. Simply put. But I still think consistency wise, they still have a little ways to make to find that place where they're going to be able to truly compete to win every single major. Not saying they can't pull one off with what they're doing now. They're obviously still a very good, strong team, but I think they will be exposed in some ways when they play certain teams with what they're doing now, is basically what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, it does feel super individual. Like you said, even on some of their breaks, especially in hardpoint. That's why they're struggling in map 1s. It's like, if they get off to a lead, as soon as the team starts playing well, it becomes impossible for them. Ben, talk to me about your take. Do you think I'm overreacting or not?
They were 2-8 in map 1 to split. That is fucking pathetic. Like, that's not it. I agree with you guys. This is just hero ball. Yep. Like, there's just not good team ball. Yeah, Ken had to go. Love Ken. Obviously, I joked that, he's my client. I'm his agent. I just individually did not play great. His agent, he's my client. We had a whole back and forth this summer. I don't remember if you remember the Kenny and Benjay lore, but shout my boy Tom in the chat.
What up, Tom?
I think that cool. You replace Cannon. It looks like they're getting Niam in per the reporting from Ronnie. We'll talk about that in a bit. But the other three guys got to find better chemistry with each other. You watch the arrows on the map. You process the listen-ins, and I don't think they have a great understanding yet of how they want to play off each other. They have the capability, to your point, Ray, earlier in the show, to look like a gentlemate style and play a gentlemate style and really play suffocating ball, especially in hardpoint, and get really good backline consistency from now Niam and Ernie, and then be a tough team out in search, which at times we've seen the rest of be good. Overload, I have some real concerns because they have not really looked good at overload most of the split. But now that you've reviewed and fixed Ken, there's now pressure on everybody, bro. Like, they got to play better team ball, or you're going to end up like Toronto. Toronto just split talent, team ball not good. That's how you get last.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, the thing is, when you watch some of these other teams play, like Hydra nor Abizi have the impact that like we saw from Shotzi or Neptune this weekend. It's just not there. It's like, and you know, is that on an individual? It's probably on the whole team, the way they play, but just like a lot of even these close hard points coming down to the wire, like you need a big player, big rotation. I think about the P2 that they had, where like Neptune pops like a 4. It's like those things just can't be happening. Like at the very end, it's like just desperation. Everybody's trying to make it, like you said, a hero ball play. I think it was Kenny gets all the way around through mid deli, and then he like chows the guy up top by himself as like Scraps on the stairs still chowing as well by himself. As like those type of things just have to get better. This Thieves team, yeah, I mean they were just kind of the odd one out of all the top teams at this event. All the other
They're
top
gonna
teams,
figure it out, dude.
I
They're
mean,
way too good not to figure it out, dude.
we
I'm
said
sorry.
that
Like they
before the
have
event.
all the tools.
We said that before the event. So you guys are saying I'm
Yeah,
overreacting then, yeah? Or
no,
that's
I
an
mean,
overreaction?
I think right now it probably is, and I think over time I don't think it's gonna hold. Like
Okay.
they have all the proper, like they have all the people behind the support they need. They have the right
Yeah.
players. Like this team is literally built to succeed. They just need to find a way to get to a place where all the players are happy and kind of adapt to what the game requires them to do right now. Like I mean this might be spiraling into like a different conversation, but the Toronto situation is somewhat similar in that way where like a lot of players that find success in years, and I could argue the same thing for me as a coach, and it took me probably a year or two to really kind of figure this out, coming back into the league, because everyone latches on to the way they succeed in the past. Like that's just,
Yeah.
I did things in a way here, it worked for me. This is the way I perceive success. My brain is wired to try and do things in that way, right? But the games have changed so much through the years. Like Modern 2, the newer version of Modern 2 was like absolutely insanely different than what we're playing now. And if you're trying to play the game the same way you played it then, what you're playing now, it's probably not going to work. I'm sorry, it's just not.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to adapt, then obviously it's going to be difficult. And once a team of that caliber finds their way to playing, I'll just put it like simply, like the way that Gentleman's is playing in that sense, and Hardpoint especially, they'll find success because from a skill standpoint, they're there, right? Like they're at the top. Let's not
Well,
beat around the bush.
Well, I mean, one thing they just have to realize that like they're evenly matched by like at least 3 other teams in the league. You got to start from there.
100%.
You have to start from there. Like you're not going to get away with like, oh, we're better and
Always.
like
Oh, 100. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like if once they get to a place where they play similarly, then they match these teams, and then you have consistent results to where you're battling with these teams day in day out, and you're gonna win more than you lose probably.
yeah.
Boys,
Uh,
LA Thieves did not win a Blackheart or Colossus its entire stage, and they only played those maps combined twice.
We said it
How the
going
fuck
into
is
every series. They have a disadvantage in every veto process, Ben.
how the fuck is a team with Hydra and Abizi,
You tell me.
2 subs that actually just they run to a map sometimes and they're unkillable, just making pressure by themselves, not playing the 2 maps where like it's the easiest to do
Well,
that.
to me, you
And
know
I
what it
don't-
says, Ben?
I'm
And
fucking confused.
I don't want to put words in their mouth because I don't know what they're saying in their camp, but just from them not playing those, to me, it says like they either think the maps are cheesy, right? Or they dislike the way they play and how the game is, or people flying around, or like they just don't have enough pressure. And like, which is weird to say when you have a BZ and Hydra. But if it's either one of those, then those are 2 huge, huge issues.
So the thieves data from stage 1. So first off, I will shout Shane. I want to give Shane some credit. He was someone very early in the year was like, yo, we should get Blackheart Hardpoint in. He really wanted us to play it in the Flank Invitational. I fucking didn't listen to him because I'm a moron. We should have put that in because that map I think is better than Colossus. It produced some really good matches this weekend. I think Shane was cooking with that suggestion. So shout out to Shane.
They've only played these once, chat, to Ben's point.
But I'm gonna give you some LA Thieves ball. Okay, stage 1 ball. They were the 11th best efficient team at holding, and they were the number 2 or number 3 team at breaking. Like I think probably why maybe they're like, don't want to play some of these maps is like, yeah, they're really good at like using their pure skill to make breaks, but they're also scam on holds all the time. And they were just like, you know what I'm saying? They were tough. Because you see the rotation 1%, the whole percentage, like those numbers are a little misleading if you don't factor in like how much they held the hills.
But you can look at the major.
So, but they got like if those maps are staying in, and I agree with JP in the chat, I don't think that they're incredible, like the world's best hardplay maps. They got to get good at least one of them,
At least
or
one.
they're fucked in every series. Yeah.
But to me, what I see when I see this, I'm just not playing it is like, all right, well, I guess that they just think those maps are cheesy. Right, where just
JP's in the chat said they're both bad.
what he thinks both
They
the
are
maps
they
are
are
bad.
pretty cheesy.
Okay, I mean you gotta
Yeah.
get it one.
Just
I don't
because-
know what to tell you.
Shout out.
What's cheesy
I mean,
about
obviously-
Blackheart?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's cheesy. I think it's
Oh, it's
just
cheesy.
it's very difficult to break a hill on that map, and it's
Yeah, it
like
is.
because of that, like the spur of like 10 seconds in a rotation matters so much more than anything else. So if you make ever so slightly the mistake in that end, then you just kind of get screwed for 30, 40 seconds after that. Which
I'll concede
argue-
P1, Ray. That's it. I'll concede P1.
you think? I mean, I would argue
P1's
P2. I mean,
I
realistically
was
speaking,
watching
man,
G2 break hills at will versus FaZe.
I'll
what are we
say
talking
this. I'll say this. I really think that because that map is so small, and the way that people play corners on say P2 and P3, like there are some opportunities where teams can throw 2 or 3 nades at a time and like pick that first guy that's like in the layer and be able to get pressure on. I think there's still more meta evolvement that can happen on that map that's not happening right now.
We have
hypothetically.
like I don't know if anybody's ever brought this up, but we do have a problem on like a couple of the maps on like second rotation with the trophies. How like P1 second rotation is fucking unbreakable on Blackheart. That's a problem. And then you get to P3 second rotation on exposure is unbreakable. That's a problem. I was thinking about the I think it was the final. It was was exposure hardpoint. The map Optic beat them on where it was like a tie game, and then it was P3 to P4, and I just got 100 unanswered points. I'm like, well, that was a lit map that just got ruined by the second rotation. We gotta figure out some of that, but other than that, I don't think Blackheart's that cheesy.
I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't say cheesy. Again, it's more just the idea that there's so many like parts of the game that are just unbelievably hard if you're not in the right position. While typically you have a chance, I would say your chances are a lot lesser on a map like that. Just again, being from what I'm seeing from what I've done in the past, and not what I've done, but what we've seen in the past from different maps, I would argue that's a map that's very much like super like when me and you and played.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you win a rotation, you're probably gonna hold this hill. Like it's like
Fair enough.
raid old school in a way.
I can see a little bit. All right, let's move on. So you guys are both saying that I was overreacting to Thieves, or no? They've both been fair. Both my takes so far.
No, you're not overreacting, and I want to see.
Hey.
Supposedly Niam's going to this team. Let's
Bring
see
the
how he does on squad.
I'm bringing the heat. All
I
right,
don't know,
here's
I'm in the middle.
you're in the middle. All right,
I'm
that's
in
a
the
W for me. As long as it's not a reaction. All right, last one. Okay, I'm gonna reword this phrasing a little bit. We'll pull them up. All right. It is malpractice that the Toronto
here we go.
Koi have put Kleenex on an AR flex roll, and they picked up the wrong heretic. Rencor would have been the perfect fit.
Well,
Not overreaction.
or am I?
Not
or am I
overreaction.
fair?
Ray, you want to go first on this one? Because you said, "Oh my god."
Man, it's so hindsight though, dude. Like, wasn't Kleenex doing the? Wasn't he like flexing at the end of last year as well?
When they got A,
When they
picked up A.
aim in, yeah, it was
Yeah.
a bit mixy, yeah.
And I'm not saying they like obviously they didn't find like the crazy success, but they did make it. They made it top. Was it? They got top 3 at the.
Hold on, let me
EWC?
let me edit out this last part. Forget the Rencor part. Since he was locked up, it is malpractice that Kleenex is on an SMG
But Kleenex is not on that SMG. You're
or
saying?
on an AR is what I meant to say. And that this Koi team is fucked until they change up their roles.
Brother, they
or make a
have no.
change. That's
they-
the
like-
statement. Forget the Rencor part.
Listen, let me start this off right, and then you'll probably agree with some of what I said.
Go for it. Go for it, Ben. Go for it.
They have. I see the thought process with this team because, like, hypothetically, in 3 sub situations, even 3 AR situations, like they should be playing much better. And I think they got a split where Rael didn't play that good and Toby didn't play that good individually, right? Rael and S&D was like a liability in a lot of rounds. We didn't really see a lot of like respawn pop up from Toby. You combine that with the fact that like generally on the map, you watch their arrows, like it's not that clean, like the bad team ball. That's how you get last. Like, I think what they'll probably do is, to your point, try a version where Rael runs an AR more than Toby.
Oh,
And they see how it goes.
I mean, you got to.
But
though.
if that does, but here's a problem with Toronto. If that doesn't work and they can't figure out like the chemistry, Jamie's not necessarily the problem on this team right now, and he's getting kills. Like he had a fine split. You got a really difficult decision potentially to make in 6 or 7 weeks of this team.
Can Can we put them in the same threshold of, or not threshold, but like the same line as a team that isn't playing the game at the pace that is required to be played?
I'm gonna pull something up while you guys discuss this.
Like I would argue, like I think Kleenex going to sub, if anything, should have helped. Or sorry, Kleenex going to AR, anything should have helped them from the flex side because they would create. You'd have 3 guys playing with higher pace now, and then Jamie would be following it up, hopefully speeding his game up as well to be more with the team. Like on paper, that's the way I saw it when they made the change, which I didn't hate, to be honest. I thought it was fine. Like Kleenex is extremely talented. Like all those guys that are very good to me are adaptable. Like in the same, I'm pretty sure I heard someone saying, again, I'm not. This is kind of spiraling into something else, but like people were saying Abizi could run the flex on Thieves if a sub player was the player they could pick up. Like I think it was in light of like people saying they should go after Joe Deceif. Not saying that would happen, obviously, but just more so saying that I think the top players in the league are very adaptable in what they can use. So that to me isn't a problem. Is he more impactful on either role? We could argue that all day, but I just think from a pace standpoint, like you have Joe just speed demoning at things. Real isn't as fast as I don't think Real's as fast as he needs to be, and then I think the follow up from the R's behind him are not. They just don't seem to play as one, which to me is more the issue than anything else. I think it's just if they can figure that out and just play more team-based COD, I think they'll be fine with the way they have things set up now. Again, I think to me, it's more about adapting to what the times require you to do and the games require you to do that their issue is. That's the way I see it.
What are you thinking at?
I feel like with this team, I think you've had a winning formula and you've been top 4 for years with Kleenex on an SMG. And yes, this is hindsight because I hear everything you guys are saying. And, you know, I understand the logic coming into the year and Kleenex may be feeling like he can run the AR, but it is completely changed the dynamic of this team and this roster in Search and Destroy and in Respawn. I think you go back to the winning formula that you've had. Cut your, like, I don't know what you got to do with Real. Maybe trade him, put him somewhere, but Kleenex needs to be back in an SMG. And they need, because in Search and Destroy, it throws the dynamic. Him, Kleenex, and Joe don't work in that game mode, bro. Every round, and I'm trying to pull up a couple rounds for you guys right now. But
bro, but like, hold on. I agree. I'm more in Ray's camp that like, it's not working right now, but I'm not in blow it up territory. They like another 6 weeks and 11 matches.
I think they make a change
and trying some.
Oh yeah.
You think they should? Yeah. You should say you're like you're done now.
Oh yeah. Unless they want to come out, unless the map set changes, they're gonna run 3 subs every map. I think they make a change.
I'm not there yet. I think to Ray's point,
I think the dynamic between those 3 players is not gonna work. I've seen enough, bro. You've had a winning formula for years.
Sorry, can you expand on dynamic?
Yes,
just so we're on the same page.
Yes, every single majority of the rounds when you watch them in S&D, it's Real on an island and them trying to work a bomb site, and Real is not finding success at all. And then it's putting Kleenex in these uncomfortable positions. He had a couple of searches. He was like 2 and 9 this weekend, just not able to figure it out around bomb. Like, let him go be the island player. I don't think it works unless they have a huge shift in the way that they approach and the roles on this team. And I heard Ben say, you know, maybe try Real on AR. Do we think that's the answer? Really? You think that's the answer? I don't think that's the answer.
I don't think we should, like, I just don't think looking at the role thing to me is the subject of the conversation we should be looking to have. Like, I think what you said about Search is more the way we should be going about this is sure. No, but it's strategically the way they're going about the game in that sense, right? Like they're choosing to put Real on the island because he found success doing that last year. So far hasn't really shown to work all that much with how they're trying to approach the game. Even when they play defense and Surge, they're so retake heavy, and so far the maps just don't really give you that many options for retakes in that way. So it's obviously hurting them more than helping them. I think if they can just see those things and just come to realization that they need to make a shift on those things, they'll be fine with what they have now. I don't really think the talent or the players, like unless the players are really like stubborn on the sense that they don't want to adapt or change their ways, then maybe that requires a change if like they're going to keep doing things the same way. But I think if they can just figure things out and adapt on that end, I think they'll be fine. Like I think saying blow it up because of
I didn't say blow it up. I'm not saying blow it up. I'm saying make it one change.
No, you are saying blow it up.
I'm saying
yeah, it's blow it up.
I think you could, yeah, bro. I think you could start with just looking at your options for Real. I really do. I don't think it's gonna work, man. I don't think it's going to work.
What would that fix?
Well, first, they would put Kleenex back on SMG.
Okay, and then what would that fix? Let's say they, in that sense, what is Real doing now that Kleenex would be doing if Real was on a like if Kleenex was on a sub?
You let Kleenex go back to his normal role of being the disruptor, playing islands, doing what he likes to do, and it changes your search and destroy. First of all, you pick up an AR who's going to be more comfortable on the AR position, and then let Joe Deceives and Kleenex take over games. Like you just said with Kremp and Estrio, like you just said with Neptune and Envoy. Those guys have the ability to do that. They have the chemistry to do that. And you get back to that.
Are you expecting Real to be successful in a role where he's probably not going to be comfortable?
If you put Real on AR, I don't know if it'll work. I don't know how good he is with an AR in his hands. I know that's Ben's suggestion, but I think you look elsewhere. I think you look down at challengers, find a guys next up.
I think the problem is that if I were them, like they're gonna qualify for champs. They have 11. They have a lot more matches to split to try shit.
5 matches straight. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not great. They're not in great form. No, because I think I think the team ball isn't good. You need to give them time to figure out like the right way to play the game. Like you don't think that Toronto, you don't think that Flux is now sit here watching how Genomate's Optic and FaZe play and be like, holy fuck, like we are going at this the absolute wrong direction, especially with their Scar fucking S&D.
Let me just say this.
That shit's terrible.
You guys might not agree with me.
That's Real Pokeball. No, can I just finish my thought real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like you're blowing it up, but like there's too much talent in this team to pull the fire alarm right now. If in the middle of the split, they're still losing to all those top teams and losing to them shitters, and it's clear that they're on a path where they're going to be flirting with champs qualification, then you can do that. But like you got to give them another month or so before it gets to that point.
All right. So
I would agree with Ben on that, and I would say just based on the way we're going about this, I'd say overreaction. I think they just need to kind of like figure it out and see what other teams are like. Just do the Chinaman, like Crimsix used to love to say. Just copy and paste what's being successful, and they clearly have the talent to do it. So
all right, we will return to this. Both of my co-hosts are being very, very kind, and we'll see if I'm right or wrong. But I went 2 for 3, so I got 1 overreaction.
We're not being kind. We just called you an idiot, but sure.
You're being kind. You're being kind to. You guys are being kind to Toronto. You really are. I don't know how, based off what you guys have seen, that you think this team is going to be able to figure this out in the next 2 weeks before matches begin. Like just being.
They should hire. They should hire Matt.
So, coming into the next stage, and you have like what 3-4 games the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you think this team's going to figure it out? If they come out, they got to play like Genomates.
You know what they should do? They should hire Matt Nagy as their offensive coordinator. That's what they should do.
Every team in a year will go through kind of this like epiphany of what's going right or wrong on certain things, and I think that team has had every slap in the face recently to kind of go through that stage now. So, and will it take them long to adjust? I don't really see it being that super difficult. I just think they just need to line up their pace as a team, and they'll be right there.
Joe Deceives is tweeting out that this is the most unacceptable gameplay I've ever seen. Like immediately.
Yes, they are playing. They're playing the game wrong. They need to learn how to play the game correct.
Guys, this is not good.
I think that's I think that's a good thing, because it's gonna like. The realization is obvious at that point. It's not like we're close, we can keep fighting what we're doing now. It's literally, we're here, we need to be here. There's a big shift need to happen. Let's go back to the drawing board and talk through this as a team and figure out what we need to do differently. Like it's not small adjustment now. I would argue that's even better, because you can wipe your slate clean of what you've been doing up until now to figure out what you need to actually do to move forward.
You are a unique player in the history of COD, Ray. You look at it from that perspective. Everybody doesn't look at it like that. I don't look at it like that. I'm looking over it. I'm going, this guy stole my role. His shit's not working. My superstar is pissed off after the event. We're getting slammed, and you're dropping a 0.7 on the island. It's over with. But anyways, regardless of that, Scrap, I want to address something that Scrap said in the chat. He said, yo, F this shitty ass show who's saying we late every day. First of all, I don't think we talked about that on this show. I think that was a Ben clip from his own stream.
He's talking about out of context Ben clip from earlier, bro, in which I did not say that you guys are late every day. So once again, everybody's just getting fucking TDL highlighted, fucking COD clips getting fucking farmed, bro. Like this shit is so dumb, bro.
What happened? I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, I don't even know.
No. Like I was talking about Thieves. I was talking about, I talked to about 4 to 5 different teams that over the course of the last year and a half or so, sometimes people at Thieves were not always showing up a ton to scrims. There are a lot of teams that you guys know, Ray, because you were a coach. There are always teams in the league that aren't always showing up at fucking 2 p.m. But it was part of a bigger point that I was saying for Thieves, which is generally they need to like lock in. And like, of course, shit gets like clipped. and like now it's a fucking whole thing that doesn't have the fucking context of it. And I got people from fucking Thieves DMing me like upset about it, like whatever. Bro.
All right. Well, regardless of that,
I don't care about this shit anymore.
Since
Go
we're
ahead.
on here asking for, since he's on here saying people say stuff without context, I said something about your Blackheart and Colossus earlier, so I would like the context. Why don't you guys play those maps, Scrap? Before I keep talking, I just want the context. See if he has an answer.
Typical Scrap response would be because you're dog shit.
Yeah, just give me the context so I can talk about it with context. Because we don't like them. That's a problem. There's a problem.
But if those maps are in the pool, like you guys gotta get good at one of them, or it's in every series. You can only ban one, and hope their team doesn't pick it. Like you gotta find joy in one of those maps somewhere.
Dude, Scrap's probably furious. All right, let's move on to the next one. So we got roster news. Ben has been talking about the rosters this morning. I know you got some news for us. I saw one drop on the timeline, and it was Cloud9 expected to drop their whole roster. Let's
I think they did. Didn't they?
They actually announced while you're doing this show, if you pull up the Cloud9 Twitter, that they are squad wiping their. While you do this, I'll kind of give the context. They're squad wiping their team. The context, and this is sort of from yesterday and today. I need to also put a flag that is a very active situation.
This is a crazy tweet, by the way.
Yeah, it's a crazy tweet. There are conversations ongoing yesterday. There are conversations going right now as far as what's going on with the C9 roster. They don't have a set thing they're proceeding. There are some, I think, players they're targeting, but essentially what they're doing is they're wiping the squad. The rumor is that essentially what C9 is doing is that they are kind of budget cutting the squad, and they're going to very effectively do that by loaning in players from some other organizations, negotiating how that salary or coverage or cost is split, and going like full budget. So
what do you mean by that? Like loaning players from challengers teams that are like currently on? Like what? Explain
like pro teams, like pro organizations. Like we'll get to, if you pull up like the reporting from Jake Hill and from Ronnie, there's a couple of players in particular like QK, Renegade, whose names have been kind of thrown around from what I've heard in these situations. And I assume in the case of Optic and in Falcons, like they want to retain contract rights to those players. And so we'll see. Like I'm curious what you guys think about this, because like there's a chance now the C9 salary on their roster, like their actual player salary that they're responsible for, is like less than 100,000. Really? Depending on how these loan deals are structured.
Wait, I guess my question
is crazy.
Like, with like a guy like QK, Ben, like if Falcons have the rights to him, right? Why would they loan him when like he could potentially come to their team if he's that good? Right? Like how does that process work? Like would they still have access to him if they wanted him?
It depends on what's in the loan. Like this is now where we get into loan fugazi, because it's like the loan people, like the loans can be structured any way you want essentially. And from talking to people at the event, like the league is not going to sit here and like mega step in on trying to, at the moment, regulate a lot of the structure of the loans. So like you could have a situation where in the case of QK, where Clay and some other people at Falcons have come on stream and basically said like they'll cover all the costs. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe there's a small like kind of potential fee that C9's got to pay, small, but Falcons will cover everything, including like travel. Example.
I guess if they're trying to cut,
you could go the other way as well.
It's a good move.
Yeah, it could go the other way as well, where C9 covers all the costs, and you could have recall clauses like these. This is what's going to make this complex now, because we're not going to know the context of these deals and all the clauses, and like the people in the scene are going to do a good job digging in so we understand the complex structure of these.
Let me ask one more before Ray goes. So is this kind of like looks to me, if they're doing that they're trying to exit? No. That's kind of what that would like indicate.
No, I don't think they're trying to exit. I think what they're trying to do is, I think MTX. This is just some reporting in the summer from, I think it was Sheep Esports or some other one of the esports outlets talking about MTX in COD and how they switch it over now from it being kind of more of a flat split across all the teams to more like EE, which you kill, right? However much money that you generate for your skin, like you're going to get a majority of that percentage. So teams are incentivized really push your MTX hard because the rewards are there, right? And you're going to see orgs like Gentleman's and FAZE and Thieves and Optic really reap those benefits. But like for C9, you could build a business model, whether you guys like it or not, of not spending a lot of salary, using the legacy of your brand and your colors and your known identity to sell MTX and actually make, plus EWC money that you get because the CDL is part of the EWC, and you can see how they right size the economics of the spot. And maybe they exit in 5 or 10 years and then make more money on top of that. But they're not trying to sit out here and spend 1.5, 2 mil a year in salary.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like they're cooked if that's their plan. Ray, do you have any thoughts on this?
I mean, the whole roster construction thing is actually interesting from a monetary standpoint. I think a lot of the teams in the league are trying to figure out a way of becoming profitable, and like the business model we've been going about, for the exception of a few teams in the league, obviously maybe isn't working, especially for the bottom teams. I think it's actually interesting. I mean, just be completely like straightforward. Obviously, the roster needed some changes with the way things have been going for them. Like that's pretty much obvious. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. How they go about their changes and who and what changed into, I'm a huge fan of trying to poach into the challenger pool. I think that makes total sense. I think, realistically speaking, if they were in this position to start the year, I would have maybe liked to have seen it. I mean, this is all hindsight, right? But I would have maybe liked to see it be more from the get-go instead of trying to go after players that like were in the league before and where someone recycled. It's always, again, easy for us to say the players that we're talking about all found success last year for the most part in challengers. So it's like, yeah, right, you're saying the same thing. So in that sense, it's super easy for us to say now after the fact. But I think there's a lot of like talent that's coming up. I think the highlights we've had on challengers in the past like 2 months also help showcase who the players that really deserve a shot are, which I think will make their lives much easier. But it's also, I don't know who else in the league's trying to make changes, so maybe I would assume they'll be the last pick of the litter.
Yeah, needing all 4 is tough. I'm just surprised they didn't retain anyone.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they were retaining at least Mac. I thought Mac maybe played.
Yeah, Mac played pretty well. Yeah, it's tough. But at the same time, like I don't mind the idea of trying to go in this direction. I'm assuming if the not retaining Max situation is probably because of if all the whatever rumors about the budget and whatnot is facts, and I'm assuming that's why they went that direction as well.
Can you go to the rotation suite? Yeah. There's some context there, and I'm curious
what this team doesn't get worse. Like they still were having Game 5 bangers. They're still entertaining.
Also, the rumored roster right now, from what I've heard and from what there's some conversation on the internet. There's a JKL article.
Let me pull this up.
Like rumored, the rumored 4 right now. Yeah, so this is just the context, and then we can talk about the rumor 4.
Cloud9 allegedly wanted their players to cut their salaries in half, and it's claimed the players were fired and not dropped. Sources to Cloud9 instead claim they are offering to help the players to not leave them completely screwed. There's allegedly also potential that some of the players could stay with the team, but they would apparently need to accept this pay cut. That seems like a crazy ultimatum, honestly, if that's true. But there's got to be some details missing here, right?
Yeah, I rather not comment on speculations like that, to be honest. It's just kind of like all up in the air. We don't really know.
I said it earlier. I think they have a bit of a PR problem now because this is going to snowball with the amount of moving pieces here.
That doesn't sound right.
I would say, for the sake of the C9 fan base, there's a question on C9's side. Is there somebody that should be from the org post all of this message out, like exactly what they're doing here, short term, long term?
They got to do.
I said on my stream earlier. We would it was probably the same thing. And if Jack wants to come on, C9 Jack wants to come on this show, the flank, individual streams, whatever, like we're happy to have him to kind of address what's going on here.
Yeah, I think at this point they probably need to. Yeah, I would love to. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the rumored roster that I have heard, and mind you, caveat, it's changed about 8 times since last night. So who knows what it is right now. Is QK is a top target for both talent-wise, because I think QK is obviously talented, needs to learn to communicate in English, but like there's skill there, right? And also I think Falcons will cover all the costs. They're looking at a couple of the Huntsman players, in particular Renegade and Kips. And then they would need to figure out the 4th, because they have a lot of ARs then if they go down that route. Like they don't have a lot of like natural aggressive sub players. They have an interesting mix of experience and rookie ball, but like they need that 4th is like really important. So is it someone from Challengers? Is it from another pro team? Someone getting dropped? Like I don't know what they're gonna do. Supposedly the rumor, the person I heard this morning is Spart. That changed about 85 times. I've heard Wake, I've heard Geo, I've heard a million players in a spot, all ARs, weirdly enough. But I'm curious what you guys think about that.
They're going to be in trouble because I think, Ray, you said earlier, this is like the last team you'd want to come into given this situation,
Well,
if this stuff's
I
true from Challenger.
I think
right?
it's more. I mean, if you really think about it, like let's say hypothetically all the contract stuff was the loan stuff, like Ben was saying, then it doesn't really affect those players in that way to get a chance to go, especially newcomers get a chance to go in the league and prove themselves. Which for those guys, like if let's say what said the roster was going to be like what Renegade, QK,
Hips,
like a
Spart.
Kips, and then like a Geo Spart, whatever. Like I mean, Spart's didn't lead before, but for the rest of those guys, they're basically getting new shots. Yeah, QK. Did QK play a few matches for Falcons,
No,
or did he not?
No.
no.
No, that was kicks. My bad.
Yep,
Got it wrong.
thanks.
Yeah.
By the way, he got
They're
MVP.
all
game
their
last
gamer
year.
tag,
He got
all their
MVP.
gamer
I
tags.
think,
Are,
in the finals. He
Okay.
was going crazy.
But talking to Falcons boys, like I talked to Asim a bunch, talked to Clay a bunch.
Can I
Like,
finish my point?
yeah, go ahead.
There you go. I think what you were saying a second ago, Ant, about being worried because this team's been competitive. I think it's gives them a team like that at the bottom part of the league should be looking for high risk, high reward. Like at the
see
very
that.
least, it gives you direction and getting players that can, like, let's say only 2 of the 4 players they pick up are crazy off the bat. Then they can adjust and make changes and give themselves a chance down the stretch. Those guys, to me, are like this team should be looking at whatever they can do to give them a chance to make to make champs at this point. Like that should be the mentality moving forward, is trying to be as competitive as possible, at least give ourselves a chance to win games to potentially make champs. And if you can start acting on these things as fast as possible now, and like again, that's kind of where I was going with my point earlier about maybe they're a little late on this, could have started year in this direction, but doing it now gives you a chance because you have like such a long second stage. You can even make changes within the changes within the stages. Some guys aren't the players you need right away.
So, Ray, to me, that feels very optimistic given the news, which I don't know is true or not, of the cutting the salary part. I would say if that's true, then it's more likely that it feels like they're chalking the season a little bit, because otherwise, why wouldn't you have done that coming into the year? You know what I mean? That's kind of the other side of it to me. Like that's where like I see the optimism, but there's also like another side to it.
Take the money aspect out of it. The challenger players that aren't going to get spots elsewhere in the league will probably take what they can get. As much as it's like annoying to say and it shouldn't be a thing, that's just the reality situation. I think if those guys can get a chance to prove themselves at the higher level, then it's almost like those guys are probably battling to obviously do well for the team, but at the same time showcase their talent so they can find something once this whole situation is over.
So it could be a win-win, I guess.
I think it is. To me, it does project as a potential win-win for all those guys. Like, and I mean, this is hindsight, but like not hindsight, but like more of a situation I had last year with the surge with my team. All my guys were on their last year to deals. There wasn't much interest to re-sign from the higher ups. I won't go into details as to why, but all those guys, obviously, them doing well were. What's the word I'm looking for here? Were auditions for their potential next roles on different teams, and all of them except Byron got on teams that were obviously really sought out to be on. Not saying Boston isn't a team you want to be on, but obviously Byron got kind of shafted a little bit on that end compared to everyone else. So I think that's the way I would, if I'm those guys, if I'm those players coming in that situation, that's kind of how I would approach the situation. Try and do as good as we can for our team so that we're as successful as possible and we prove our worth in the league, our capability of winning, and then hopefully get better roles moving forward.
Listen, I hope they're thinking of it that way. Let me just plug something real quick, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just get my boy Ray in the building. It would be all sorted out. Let me just put it like that. All right, Ben, you got one more tag, and then we got something else, right?
I mean, the additional context is because this is basically becoming a loan team. Is like if the team blows up, those players. I'm assuming they're going to loan all these players. I don't think there's buyouts going on here. Those players just go back to their parent org, you know, like, and those are good parent orgs. Like Optic do right by their players. I think Falcons are clearly trying to do right by like all the million prospects they have now in their system. Like, it's a bit of a unique situation. I think the problem contextually for me is just. I don't know what C9's goal is here. And I do think they owe like the COD community and specifically their fans like an explanation on what's going on here.
Listen, there's little indicators. Look, Kips in chat said he's not taking a league minimum. That's what that means. My boy Kips, hey, stay strong, man. You got it. Stay strong, my boy. All right, so
can we actually go just slight deviation from what we're talking about? Like what you just said. If you're, and this is more a question for both of you, if you're a player in his shoes that isn't necessarily like, would we say Kips is like a complete guarantee to get a league spot next year with how things are going?
with how things are going, if he continues to perform, then yeah, I mean, people are pulling from challengers
You would
pretty often.
okay, that's fair. More so where I was going is like, let's say in the case that you didn't believe so, would you say that he's better off not taking that offer or actually taking that offer to give himself a chance to prove it on the big stage?
It all depends on the surrounding roster. Like if you're like a guy like Kips, who you're going to be one of the future pickups, it depends on like who they're going to surround you with. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a tough question. I mean, you never know when
Tough
you're going to get that.
situation,
You never know
obviously.
when you're going to get that call. But
That's the thing, man. That's the toughest part of
but
it.
the wrong one could put you in a tough spot. I mean, look at Lunars.
Agreed.
He's really good at this game. He's in a tough spot, bro. It's just being honest. He showed out. But all right, let's move on to the next one. So Carolina bomb out of the major after an awesome online stage. Only winning one map against Thieves in Vancouver. Do they need to make a change, or what's the fix? And then I wanted to lightly touch on Brian Saint's post, and we'll start with you, Ben. I'm sure you saw this. He's basically said he's like pretty much a one-man show across like their social media, team operations, and his hand in coaching. So first of all, I hope Brian can get right. I appreciate him being transparent and saying he's taking a break from social media and stuff. Obviously, that was a tough performance from them. And obviously, trying to balance all that stuff with a team of young guys is really, really tough. So, Ben, why don't you kick this off? Talk to me about what you thought about this post and Carolina's performance.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for the Carolina team because they look great online. They came to LAN and just, I don't know if it's pressure. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know if Exceed coming in late, travel issues, like a bunch of stuff that kind of like messed up what's going on here. And they just came out flat at the event and probably could have placed better. The fact that Brian's also being their social manager, like, what are we doing here, bro?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Why are we not in a position where there isn't something in the team participation agreement where we get a Charlotte Hornet situation where the league says, all right, you're not capable of managing the spot. We're going to come in, we're going to take care of operations, and we're going to help sell the spot. Or we're going to put in a position where it can get cleaned up. Because the fact that this guy has 99 hats on this org, and at least C9's got back office staff, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about C9 not spending, at least they had back office staff. Like, this team doesn't. I don't get it, bro. Why are they still in the fucking league? I feel bad for Brian, man.
Yeah, I feel bad for Brian for sure. Go ahead, Ray.
Being in a similar situation, I wasn't booking flights and then doing the social stuff. We had other people doing that, but the rest of it, I was kind of like in the same shoes as Brian on that end. It's very difficult to manage your time in a way where you're not feeling burnt out because you're spending so much of your day and attention, like coaching, bro. Like, especially when you're a solo coach, like you have to deal with all the outside of the game stuff too, what's going on with the team. And it's a reality of the game. Like, all the teams go through these kind of situations. It's hard, bro. So I feel for Brian that end for sure. I just for the event itself, like I don't think it's fair for us to overreact. Like there's a bunch of young players in that team, and they had very high expectations because of how things have gone. Their last they go on a 4-game winning streak? Was it 3 or 4?
5 games.
It was clicking. They were clicking in January, bro.
Born winning overload, 5-game winning streak. Exceed was
that much?
all
Okay.
in. Like,
yeah,
it really was a pretty catastrophic breakdown, Ray.
That's fair. I definitely like did not see the same teamwork, and the way they were playing the game just didn't seem the same one-to-one to how they were playing online to LAN. But again, I'd like, if I don't know exactly what's going behind, like from our stance, it's all speculation. I would almost look at it from a stance. The best guess and situation I can take out of it is maybe they're just young players that just need more time to adjust to the bigger lights.
Probably.
Like, and again, this is so speaking from like a place where we don't know what the fuck's going on there. But I think how they react to how they go about playing online again will be a real tell of how things are in that camp right now. Because I mean, obviously, you play every team in this next major.
Whoa.
If they go and play the same way, like if you build confidence, like over time, more because they spent like a month together with Slasher. Was it the holidays, right?
Yeah. Oh,
it was a month-ish. Yeah.
They dropped.
Yeah. So they were together. They've only been together for a month in that sense, and they obviously started playing the game drastically different than they were playing before. So if they can keep building on that and actually get into a place where this is all they know, there's no other thing in their brains that go to when they play COD, I can see the team finding real success throughout the year. And not the same way that this major happened.
I mean, the
like,
ARs got
it's easy
cooked.
for me to like. They did. I just almost like. I hate to say it's like almost like a fluke in a way, because obviously we haven't seen anyone on that team really prove their worth at a high level consistently, but I definitely see this team having a chance to be successful through the year. Is it like winning events? I don't know exactly, but making a Sunday, I feel like they could kind of pull something out like G2 did
Yeah.
this week.
Well, as they get more comfortable, right? Because Lurks did show he's pretty solid. He had some good moments.
Oh, he's great. I think
he's
Lurks is
great.
awesome.
The AR's just got to get a bit better. Exceed and Nero did not have a great event. I mean, it led to Lunars literally breaking records against these guys. Like, bro, this guy went plus 40, 14,000 plus damage in 4 maps. Yeah, I mean, to me, just they can be similar to like the Boston of last year, where it's like you're not going to be at risk of missing champs because they're so good online. You just got to try to find a way to, you know, clutch up, upset a team, winners round 1, and make a run. Yeah, I think you just keep this roster and bank on the ARs, kind of figuring it out when you get to LAN. Because online, they were great. Really good overload team. Looked like they were kind of ahead. The search was very good. Exceed Sniper was on point. Just none of that happened on LAN. You know, maybe it's these guys. They're at home. They're not all together. I think first things first, if you're Carolina, you try to get these guys all together. Whether that's an Airbnb, if that's an Airbnb, whatever it is, you got to pay a team to maybe use the facility. I don't know how you get that done, but you got to figure out a way to get them together, man. Because you got to LAN, you could really see. I don't know.
That'd be hard, brother.
Can I tag in here for a sec? I really liked how they played in January. And they had Stinky at this event for the reasons I think you guys touched on. And they're in a very interesting crossroads because, like, they can either continue the path they're on online the way they were playing with the really good team ball, and to your point, be a really hard out team, or this could go south. And the problem they have is this isn't like the point of our conversation about Brian saying, this isn't the most resourced org. I don't think they should make a change, but what happens to them in the next month and a half is going to be really interesting. Because they're either going to continue to be good, and we're like, okay, they're going to be heralded into an interesting Major 2 format, or they're going to sink, and we're going to be like, wow, these guys are going to make changes. I just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It's just, I think they're good enough online to where they'll win enough online matches.
They're good enough online in stage 1. I don't know if I'm confident they're going to keep that up. I think they can. I don't know if they will, though, Ant. Is the point I'm trying to make.
No, it's very, very, very fair.
I wouldn't say that with certainty.
But you could
Let's wait and see.
This team could get so much worse, too, like with the wrong move. Like, you think about Carolina last year when they went and they got Dylan Rex, they fell off of a cliff, bro. So you just got to be very, very careful when you, I mean, as crazy as it is to say, you got some good going online right now, and everybody's raging about them. What's this, Damon? Let me pull this up.
By the way, while we're here, just while you do that, Ronnie did put out a new article confirming that C9 are targeting QK, Renegade, and Kips, and they're also looking at Spartan Wake, but obviously everything's kind of moving quickly.
Wait, what was that, Ben?
Ronnie put out an update to his article about a couple of players that are targeting, the players we discussed earlier.
Pull this up real quick. Also, Damon is hilarious. He just linked their match up against Carolina, where they got torpedoed. Yeah, I mean, they got that going for them. You're beating that team like that. Good. So here is what Ben was just talking about. Cloud9 targets loans to rebuild rosters. Pull up this article.
Yeah, I mean, this is all the stuff we talked about. It's a very evolving situation. Seems like the Hunt. I don't know who's gonna be on Huntsman now because they're losing 3 of their fucking players, so that's tough.
That's wild.
But it's just really just recipe looking for 3. But Giga's in the convo, Sparks in the convo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say there is a lack of true subs on this team. So the problem of picking up like a Spartan Wake is like you're sitting here looking at, I don't know, you can see it's like 4 ARs on a team. Like I don't think we really know what Renegade is yet in this game.
Sounds like a bunch of Toronto Koi's options getting swooped up. Time to figure it out, Toronto.
Ah, shit.
Better be quick,
dude.
Better be quick. Sounds like all your options getting swooped up,
my
boys.
Just drop it.
I wanted to go 3 for 3 today. It doesn't look like it's happening. All right, next topic here.
Forcing it.
Boston draw Vegas and lose round 1. What's the deal with Boston? Talk to me about it. Ray, as somebody who coached Nasty last year, talk to me about this roster and what you think that they should maybe do from a strategic standpoint or roster standpoint. Yeah,
it's a hard one. I don't like the only loss they've had so far that was very surprising was the Surge one. Like every other match to me has gone kind of what I would expect this team to have gone through this early in the year. We all saw kind of the Bayern move. Obviously, Bayern had an incredible year last year. He's still playing really good this year. You would probably
Yes.
think that was an upgrade in that sense. They haven't seemed to quite figure themselves out on how they want to approach things. I don't know if is it maybe fair to say the way like the way the game's played is more similar, but the maps themselves, like if your sub duo isn't doing well, it seems pretty hard to be successful.
Oh yeah, they got
Is
to
that fair
both
to
be on
say?
point. No, I 100% agree because that's where I'm going with
And
this.
and I think Purge has had like Purge to me has shown that he's capable of doing it. I think it's just a matter of finding the consistency in doing it. And I feel like this team, I don't want to say relies on him doing well, but when he does well, this team's always firing. And when he's having a hard go, like it's just the X factor. Like if he's not playing well, they don't find success. When he's playing well, they find success. So
Where's
I don't know if
that?
that's necessarily like the right take, but that's the way I see things based on what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think for this Boston team, they're like the hardest team to evaluate. It's just like they've lost a lot of games recently. They've played really good teams. What is this? Looks like Thieves in Vegas.
Yeah, T's Vegas,
This is the
G2
only
when they're at
they
the
got
highest.
rounded
Yeah.
by. They played what them losers round one. Let me go.
Yeah, they only played one match at LAN.
Yeah, only one
Yeah,
match.
it was
Yeah,
it's
so
phase. They got a tough draw there for sure.
got
But
slammed on the den. Where's the other map? Let me pull up the series actually. There you guys. All right, Ben, you can chime in as well if you want. What do you think about Boston?
I mean, there's just last year they really mastered the game last year, and even though the slang was at times inconsistent, they were so good with their fundies and how to play that they were like sticking in series. But like the slang has not been on top. I think Purge in particular, like I like Purge, but like he really really struggled to stage individually, and like there's only so much you can do when you're playing like sometimes 3v4 in the map.
Subs got
So
shut
I don't
down.
know. I think Boston may make a change. Probably you could argue probably should make a change because this stage 2 is so important, and like you look at the point totals right now, and like this could get away from them very fast as far as like what's required in the back half of the season to make champs. I don't know. I mean, they might be a team.
Ben, can
What's
something
up?
to your point though? Can you remind me how well Boston did earlier in the season last year?
They were just
Didn't
getting
take
top six
time?
at every event.
Yeah, they're at top 6.
At the very start of the year though?
I'll pull them up.
Yeah. Didn't they got 6 at a bunch of the early events? Like they were never great online. They weren't like world starring people online the whole year. But they were just going to an event and just winning a losers bracket match or two, and just sometimes getting a winners bracket. Like they were just they were just like getting. They were just competitive all year.
This is their
I feel like
performance.
part of the reason why this team was successful last year is because they were like a team.
They
Like
got top 12 first major.
yeah, I was gonna say they kind of had a slow start last year, which is the way, like this team to me is like the 3 guys except Bayern like didn't they come through challengers together technically? I mean, obviously Cammy's been in the league before, but they had that stint where at the end of Modern 3
Well, they picked them up for
they were all playing
EWC,
challenge.
right? And that was the team they made.
Right.
Yeah.
With the like obviously Snoop being the one that stood on the old roster. So
Yeah.
I kind of like the sense that they have that camaraderie, and I think being a team on the inside is extremely important to your success. So I don't necessarily think a change is going to happen. Like whatever we believe a change is necessary or not, I would assume they're going to give it time to write it out. And I would assume this is the kind of team that will only have will only get better. I don't think they'll get worse. I think it's not like they had a disastrous stage. They still won 3 games online. They're still hanging in there. They're still like in a place that isn't necessarily the worst. They're 9th in the standings. They're not that far off point wise. Like if they can find a way to get to where they need to be from how they go about things, and obviously Purge can find a little more consistency, I think they'll be a successful team and have a chance to do some of the stuff they did last year.
You know what? I'm with you because I'm looking at they lost the tiebreaker because of map count. Obviously didn't get into winners, and then you drew FAZE. And I remember talking to Nasty a little bit in one of the interviews, and he was just like, "We just started off slow," which they did, and now you see that's the spot they're in. So I mean, it is a bad draw. Let's just be honest. Like there was no world where they were going to beat FAZE there. Given the history, I can't say you're wrong, Ray. You probably should just run it back with this team and figure it out because you're not in the worst spot. Where are they at? Oh, regular season. Yeah, I mean, they're not really down that much. Oh, they didn't even add the points yet, did they?
They're I'm looking at a breaking point. They're at 30.
They're at 30. Your breaking point's accurate. I gotta be honest. The CDL website is absolutely just the worst shit. I think the league needs to redo the site this season because it's like it just functionally just doesn't work. Also, do a refresh. So you go to breaking point. I will also give a little bit of a breaking news update. The people are spamming it in in the chat, Toronto KOI 2 minutes ago tweeted that they have made the decision. I've never seen a team do this, by the way. They have made the decision to swap Royale to a Flex and Kleenex to an SMG. So I don't know why they're tweeting out role changes,
farming,
but
bro, they're farming.
So I wasn't overreacting. I wasn't overreacting. I'm spitting
no, but
bars.
we all agree. We all
you.
agreed they need. We all agreed they need to try this. Though you were trying to blow this shit up and trade Royale.
That was an option. There were there's two options here. They went the easy way out, Ben. Now listen here.
Okay, bro.
There's two they went the easy way out. Now I hope it works.
You're not getting that W.
I'm glad.
You're not getting that
but
W.
Listen, but that means that camp was like, nah, G, this ain't gonna work, bro. We got to switch it up. But the general sentiment is correct. If the team even feels the same way, is that having Kleenex on that role is not the answer. And Torto, I did spend some time talking to the Toronto guys on Sunday night, so maybe I did. Bit.
Insider info.
But I really like that team, and I think they've been a good moniker of success over the CDL season, not being one of the grandfathered orgs that have a ton of fandom, and they've kind of catapulted themselves into that of like the Optic, the FAZE, and the Thieves, just being a consistently good team in the CDL. So glad to see the two mainstays of that team back on their proper roles. Put it that way. Who tweeted that, Ben?
It's Toronto Ultra. Not a fan of you in the chat right now, but I'll let you ash him out with them later.
Crazy,
after the show.
What do you mean? I really like this team coming into the year, and I'm Mr. Hindsight right now because I said I thought you guys built a great roster, but we were all wrong. You guys included that the roles didn't work, and now we're in a better spot. I've never seen a tweet like this though, Ben. You're right.
I've never seen either, but I tip it, bro. I tip it. I've never seen either, but you know what?
We're all here for it.
People got to start with new shit. They're fucking innovating. I tip it.
Is there a match? Maybe like I want to see Real in the AR, bro. I want to see him balling with the AR in his hand. Do we have something we can watch? Is there anything? I'll go back and watch it later. There is.
But do we finish up on Boston? I think we all agree they need a little more time in the oven. But if it keeps going south, they might need to make a decision mid-stage. Because remember, this is a stage where if you get 11th or 12th, brother, you are not getting on a plane to the UK. You are sitting at home,
watch partying,
waking up dead early to watch this event, watch partying, and everybody else is moving on. So you don't want to fall too behind the pack.
Now, whoever gets 11th and 12th at this stage is changing the roster, bro.
Oh, this is tough too because they play Optic, Falcons, and Thieves first 3 matches.
Oof.
And then you go Surge, Carolina, Vegas.
Nah, bro. Hold on.
You play Paris, and I mean you have a tough end too, I guess, but you will have very much. You will know where you stand. Yeah, you play everyone, but more so just the way it's ordered. Like you have like a hard start and a hard finish. Your middle part is kind of like the quote unquote weakest, I guess.
If they come out and they lose to Exceed online and then get slammed by Thieves in FaZe, it's gonna be tough. The start to their split, I see what you're saying, is really difficult.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very telling of where they stand.
Definitely gets easier as time goes, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's no I love how we say easier too. Like in the previous years, it was kind of like that, but there's really not any easy matches anymore. Like, for the exception of maybe like 2 teams, based on what we've seen so far, it's every matchup after that is very difficult.
Damn, dude. All right, so without, I guess, punching down a little bit, Vancouver, is it salvageable? Like, obviously they had a big win on land. Lunars went crazy. Abe has been disappointing to start the season, to say the least. Talk to me about it. Let's start with you, Ben, with the Vancouver roster. Talk to me about it.
Well, they didn't win many maps to split. They're hardpoint. They're probably the worst hardpoint team in the league consistently. Posts and pre-Teej. I think maybe they're sticking because of maybe financial reasons, maybe the mirage that Carolina victory. I just don't think there's a lot of things to like about this team. Lunars obviously played particularly good at the event. I got to tip Lunars.
He's good.
I don't know if he's good, but he played good in that series.
Nah, sometimes you are a Lambo stuck in a bando, bro.
We don't know that yet because we got to see a bit more data here. But I think his spot's safe. I won't listen. I won't be surprised if there are more changes mid-split for Vancouver. They may not maybe do it now, but bro, they won how many maps to split?
Listen, it's P
7?
is spitting, bro. You might just have to switch Gwyn up. I don't know. He's just not having the same impact he used to have. when he first came, when he won Rookie of the Year. Talk to me, Ray.
I mean, this is a very mushy situation, in my opinion. I don't really want to like. This is a tough one because that's where I came from, last year. So I have my sentiments, my feelings on this.
Yeah, we don't have to talk too much about it. I mean, they're a tough spot.
It's more. I think it's more just the idea of like, it's clearly not worked so far. They won a match on land, which gave him a good amount of points, so it's not going to look as bad as it could have. Is it a team that I see succeeding the way it is now in the future? Not really. Like, I'd say right now, like the only two teams that I would argue that aren't in the playoff race as it stands very much right now is Vancouver and C9. If they were to like not make any change, let's say the two rosters for Major One, or not make any changes, I didn't see them making the playoffs. So in that end, I would argue that you need changes. What changes? Where you go? Like I'm always going to be a big advocate for the teams that don't have the crazy budgets to dip into challengers and give some trials or some chances to the players that are looking up. For who, for what, how, it really depends how things are behind the scenes. Like I think Lunar said in his interview after they won the match that him, Gwyn, and Abe were like, yeah, we're boys. So it's like that makes things a little more difficult. T just come in and kind of give him maybe a little more like leadership, like experience to help those guys out. So then you're kind of like in a rough spot where you're going to break the boys up, quote unquote, to make a roster change. So that there's a lot of things there, elements that are difficult to kind of look at from an outside perspective. I can't really put my finger on what to change exactly, but I would argue, in my opinion, a change is necessary.
Yeah, I got you. I could tell you what to fix. You just got to drop Abe. He's getting slammed, bro. You got to drop Abe. And it was actually, I'm going to give credit to Chance on this, which is like crazy. Abe is the #1 non-traded in the league, brother. What? How is that possible? And it's like engagements are low as well. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like at least Purge is like flying in, like he's similar, I think, in that regard. But at least his engagements are, he's like flying in. Abe's not, and he's also just getting slammed. Yeah, let's put
on that take. On that take, would you argue Abe wasn't good with Toronto last year when they had him on the team?
I think that Toronto team was a way different beast. That team, I mean, you're playing alongside.
Well, more so, like, because Abe is still young, obviously going to be moldable to his environment. If the environment isn't the best, then obviously it's harder for a player like that to succeed. I feel like he was pretty solid last year. Like, to me, I thought he was. I mean, I saw him for sure being in the league this year after the MVP year that he had with Toronto last year. Yeah, so like players like that don't just get worse overnight. Like, it's not a. Like I don't think he's necessarily worse for it. Obviously, he's not performing in the same way he was before. But again, I think the way they go about playing the game can have an impact on that. Like the non-traded aspect. Like again, that's a very team-based statistic. We'd agree on that, yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Like obviously, your individual play will have an effect on that. But if it's that much of an outlier, then I'd say the team around you maybe isn't playing the way you want to play the game or whatever that is.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, his stats just weird. Like I think like in terms of SMGs, it's really high, 68.5. And like right there, he's like 22 kills per 10 minutes in hardpoint. It's like really low.
I know it's a very political answer, but I would say like the team aspect probably has a bigger impact on his play than anything else.
Yeah, probably.
Just because we saw him play well last year.
But it's like one of those things where you could theoretically. Wait, where's this match at? Let's pull up. Lunar's popped off. I don't even know where I lost the link. Regardless of
you just click on his name.
When I think about this team, Ben, I think you move Gwyn back to SMG and you get rid of Abe, maybe find somebody down in challengers. Bro, this team could actually be pretty solid. Like if Lunars can build off of that performance, obviously we know Teej is a solid search and destroy player. Like there actually is an avenue where Vancouver becomes like a good team. And whether that's Abe starting to perform better or you get somebody who's going to perform better in that spot and get Gwyn back to where he was, like this team actually has talent. Like they can.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. Instead of doing that, it's gonna be Teej and friends, and they're gonna be 11th and 12th all year, bro. This is gonna be the friendship team where maybe they keep Lunars, but it's Teej and Gwyn playing with one of their other friends, and they just keep getting, people keep being bottom 4, and it just is what it is, bro. Not everybody can be good in the league.
I just see a world where this team could be solid. I don't know. Maybe I'm faded. I think they have like.
This world, I don't think it's likely though. Is the problem that I feel like? I mean, they had a really bad split. Obviously, you could turn around. Look at
for Abe might not be the worst.
But it's like, for example, like this isn't the case like last year with your team, right? Like the last Surge team, where like, yeah, I love Charlie. Obviously, bookended by like the Kyler and Nep thing, but like out watching your team play, and I'm like, bro, like the ideas are good. They're just Charlie just isn't getting enough kills. Everybody's not getting enough kills, and they just got to make the change. And then obviously you guys got better. I just watched them play, and I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
Yeah, they're in tough
That's why
spot.
they
We
were
don't-
23 map count. Like
just speaking from a place
this
where
was
the point you just brought up to me is, do you feel like there was structuring what we were doing before? We just weren't getting kills, or do you feel like we were just kind of like all over the place and things just weren't lining up?
well, there were times where you guys were definitely getting frustrated, getting shit on in that
Right.
stage. But like there were a lot of situations where I'm just like, it's like I like Charlie. He's making a good play and then doesn't finish his dinner, and it's like you can only have that happen so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like it's true though, because I don't think Charlie like is the tough thing about Charlie is like, bro, he won an event with Toronto. Like he clearly knows how to play to win. Like I watched Charlie,
Right.
like he just the slang wasn't there, you know. And then you
Right.
pick up
No,
Nep, who's a
you
different
don't need to
player, and
sugarcoat
like
it. It's just the way it was, right?
But that's how it
And
is
then-
with
yeah,
Abe
and
right
it-
now. It's the same thing with Abe. Like if you swap him out to somebody, maybe not to the level of like a Neptune, but somebody who's better than Abe, who can go out there and slay and like alleviate pressure.
think the
on
only
map.
difference-
They have talent. Like Gwyn and Lunars are talented.
the problem is
The only-
they have. Go ahead, Ray, then I'll give my.
I was gonna say the main difference from where we're comparing the two is that we were 4-3 in our stage. Obviously, we got smoked on land, but like we were finding some level of success. Like like Vancouver currently is not. So that's kind of the big difference here. I think is
Well, they found some on land though, right? Because I mean, you win the first
they
series,
want a match on land.
and this was a
against
collapse.
against
this
Carolina,
exposure,
bro. Like,
this exposure
context.
was a collapse. Like this series looks
was bad.
different. This
It was
series
bad.
looks
It was
way
bad.
different, bro. They're up 9. I don't even know how much they were up, but they had 2 Hellstorms on P5 exposure. What the fuck
Yeah, but then they
are
crumbled
we
it.
doing?
Then they crumbled the next 2 maps like a fucking crumble cookie, bro. Here's my
What are
problem
we
with Vancouver. Bro.
doing?
I want to believe, but like the evidence you saw from Tej and Win last year, the team got worse over the course of the year, and like I don't know. I don't see how this team like. I don't see how a collection of some of these players rotating in and out, like what they got going on there, the lack of resources. I just think the deck is stacked against them, and someone's got to get 11th to 12th. Like it is how it is, bro. And like I think they're one of those teams.
You guys are. I mean, yeah. So you guys think they should rock out with this team, or like,
If they want to, if they want to try
running.
running this, if they want to try running this for another 2 weeks, great. But like, we'll see what. I think it's just gonna be like, well, Abe's got to go, bro. It sucks. I like Abe; he's a good kid, but it's not working on this team right now.
What is
He
Damon
isn't
talking
shooting his.
about?
He isn't shooting his gun enough. Like he's throwing away his life a lot. Like maybe a different team, the situation helps.
Yeah.
But like then I'm concerned they replace Abe with like again a Tej and a Grin friendship cheese, and like they're just a vibes team, and like the vibes aren't vibing.
If that's
enough
what
to
they do, Ben, I'll
the
be
top 8.
furious because I don't think that this team projects terrible if they make the right moves here. But we spent too much time
guess
talking
we'll
about the
see.
bottom, so let's move on to the success stories of this event. We got the bracket up here, and as you guys can see, G2, the dark horse, had a hell of a run and had some of the most exciting matches that we had at Major 1. Shout out to them. Shout out to Skies Bueno. Great performance in this tournament. He had a target on his back, a ton of pressure. Obviously, the leader on this team. Mamba's a rookie, so you gotta be a good leader for that. And I thought he did great. I want to shout out Looney as well. Fucking good job, bro. You guys came prepared. You guys look great, and in particular, that first Scar S&D. Now we're not gonna talk about the last Scar S&D, but we'll talk about that first Scar. And that first Scar, Danny, you was in your bag. Now your Sunday Scar wasn't all the way there, but the first one, all the first bloods, incredible performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Y'all must have known when we get back to that game 5 Scar that there was no chance. They adjusted completely. But you guys had a hell of a performance. Let's kick things off with you, Ben. With G2, I loved what I saw. I think they profiled really well the rest of the year. And Skies and the AR duo in particular played great. And we got the consistency out of Estrio we wanted.
It's a fun team. I want to root for this team, man. Like I've been waiting for Estriel to get on like a really good squad and realize the potential he thought he's had for a couple of years. Crump obviously played really good in that Thieves team that made the final EWC a couple of years ago. C9 obviously was completely dog shit last year, so we didn't see much of that. But like Mambo played great at EWC last year. Like he's had some good moments to split. Caesar played great on land. Like I want to really like this G2 team. There's obviously a couple of things to clean up. I think they did a really good job of running out their map pool by the end of this split that I don't think there are any from the match they play, like any crazy weaknesses. yeah, maybe the overload at times still work in progress, but like they lost to FaZe, who are a top overload team. Like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I think the you know, maybe a little bit more game 5 ice. Like okay, I just think like they're in a good spot. They don't need to drop Caesar right away. I know I said that thing about Caesar and the gifted 5 to Tommy. I guess I got to go get 5 Caesar chat now, which is fine. I don't mind that. I love Caesar, bro. Caesar's a fun guy to root for, Brent. Fun guy, funny guy, good on content. Like I want to see him succeed. I want to see this team succeed. And like, yeah, I think they're going to be a lot of people's like second or third favorite team in the league with the way they're going right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Would,
go ahead, Ray.
Go ahead. No, you're good. You're good.
I was going to say they played a lot of different hardpoint maps. They went 4-1 at the major in HP. It's really impressive. One loss was the 203 to 250 to Texas on Colossus. Ray in Search, they went 2-3. They lost 2 of those to FaZe in that matchup, which I think is somewhat forgivable. And then 2-2 in Overload. So by all means, great performance. But go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a team that I think out of all the teams in the league, this is a team that actually embraced the Colossus Blackheart the most.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of, like, if you look at the league as a whole, I think a lot of teams did not want to play those maps. So they're almost like guaranteed to get one of their picks. And even looking at, like you said, the stats, like they went 4-1 in HPs and they actually won a Den and a Scar. So I think from a hardpoints perspective, pace wise, they're up there. I think the only thing that I would say, and again, I think Sky's performed really well, and don't get me wrong, I love Sky to death. I would love to see him trying to adapt his pace a little more to match. Like they're super close to being a team on the same wavelength of like the Mace in terms of the space, like Made in Optic. Yeah. Let's just put them up there. Like they're really, really close to being in a place where they can find that consistency in HP, just because of simply having given himself the most chances at doing things on the map where they're all 4 kind of that same wavelength pace wise. I think the Search Skies, I mean, with a sniper has been really good. I think just generally speaking, they're good across the board. I think it's what I'm more questioning is like, as other teams start playing, I'm fully expecting other teams to start adapting at a pace on that, and as the year goes on, are they going to be able to like keep up when other teams start playing a game in a very similar way? And so far, I have zero reason to think not. It's just more so that would be the only thing to me that down the road could maybe not let them shine as much as they have so far. Because I mean, they've played very well. I mean, I think Estriel and Kremp are, I mean, from a performance standpoint, one of the better sub duos in the league. Definitely top half at the very least. So I'm excited to see this team moving forward, bro.
I think you could argue.
Like, was it Ben or you and that said like they're fun to watch? Like I 100%.
Yeah, I said it last episode.
Put that sentiment on, bro. Like Kyle is just a masterpiece to watch around the map, bro. I love watching that kid play.
They're so fun to watch. But I think to your pace point, I like somewhat see, but they're also just like winning all their HPs, like we just pointed out. So it's like the pace is really good. But like you said, the Thieves, they're gonna end up, being on that level at some point. Gentlemates, there's no reason to believe they won't get better. Same with Optics. So yeah, I mean, I could see what you're saying there. I just don't know where you really tell Skies other than speed it up a little bit. I mean, it's like, other than that, their hardpoint just looks great, and he played good. So I really have no complaints about this team. Maybe just some game planning things a little bit. Like you lost 2 searches to FaZe, and on the game 5, like the adjustments FaZe made is just way too much for them. So other than that, yeah, I think this team's going to be good, solid all year. Just got to build upon this performance. Ben, I don't think you chimed in yet. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I gave some thoughts. I mean, the Overload is still work in progress. They're one of the slower teams to kind of lock in on the game mode. I think their game 5 ice hasn't been great at times this year. Yeah, they did clutch up that one nice one against FaZe, but they lost to FaZe and Optic on the end of the weekend. So I don't think they finished above 500 in it. But again, there's area of progress there. Again, I like G2. This is not a gameplay thing, but I would love to see more content around this team.
Same.
They have, again, between Mamba, Kremp, and like Caesar. Estriel, I think, is a little bit more of a quiet guy. Like there's a lot of fucking personality on this team, and they're like generally funny people, So
was this the Colossus where 04 had the 1v3, like where he insta-chow jumped up behind the box? Was this that map? Annie? Because if so, then this is a forgivable loss.
I think it might have been
forgivable loss, dude.
Yeah, well, like so I walk, like there's some losses that are kind of forgivable. Like I walked up to Draza and I told him, I said, "Hey man, hell of a performance. Neptune just had a tweak moment. Like sometimes you lose, Ray, and it's like the guy just did some fucking crazy stuff. Like you know what I mean? It just is what it is. Like you can learn from it.
We'll get to FaZe in a bit. I have some
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it time to talk about that?
Yeah, we're gonna move on. All right, so we all love G2. The next one.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about FaZe
G2.
now. FaZe run out of steam and get clutched on by the Gentlemates. What
craziest shit I've ever seen.
We're gonna watch it. Incredible. Where's it? It's on my Brave browser.
Yeah, but hold on. Before we even get there, bro. Okay, like before we even get there, Ray, curious if you think about this, because obviously, I'm sure you have 2 former players on this team, so you're probably rooting for these boys. But like, even before you get to the S&Ds, this weekend they were fucking dog shit in Game 4s. So even before you get to the tweak fucking plays by Nep Game 5, brother, they got to close away these series in Game 4 before the map even fucking loads.
Ben, it's weird though, because they went far in a tournament. You're playing better teams. So
yeah, but you gotta be, if you want to be an elite team, you gotta close out when you get opportunities to close out, and not let it go to a fucking map 5. And yeah, I know they went 4-1, and the one loss in map 5 was a Neptune tweak at the end when FaZe were up 5-2. But like, for example, they were up in that Colossus hardpoint against Gentlemates. They had streaks. I know streaks are not the most effective on Colossus. They got to manage the situations better, and when they can close out teams, close out and not let it get to a Game 5. You know, because that's the level they're at. They're good, but like they're striving to be elite. You know,
I hate, like, I've been saying this forever, and you know this. Me and you team together. Like, clutches like that are 90% mistakes on a team that has numbers, even probably more so than 90%. Like, in the 5-2 round, the FaZe split up, Simp got picked. The 2, like, literally it was a 1v1v1v1. There was no 3v1 there. Like, there's so many instances and flashy highlight plays that we see that are just so based on the other team misplaying the situation dramatically. And I hate to say that about FaZe, because I think, like, dude, they had no reason to lose that game.
No,
that was
at all, bro.
Absolute cinema, bro. That was absolute cinema. Like, it was the crazy. I mean, from an excitement viewership standpoint, I mean, hell yeah, bro. Like, awesome shit. But I was feeling for FaZe there, bro. Like, that was just crazy as shit. And I don't want to say COD history. I'm sure there's been some crazy shit before.
It's up there, dude.
In the moment, like in this scheme of things, that was nuts.
The crowd,
absolutely insane, bro.
Like what was on the line, who you were playing, and how it was playing out, Ray. Like Simp in the middle of that game, bro. I'm sure you were thinking, we're all thinking, Simp's the GOAT. This is the greatest I've ever seen. Like, he was taking over. Like, it looked like a Simp. Like, in the history books, looked like another Simp takeover Game 5. Like, bam. And then
and the other layer, this is coming into the weekend. Like, FaZe were probably the best situational search team.
Oh, yeah.
From all the metrics we had. Bomb up, bomb down, retake, getting a blood, 3v4. Like, they usually played their numbers well. And unfortunately, in that last map, but like, it got away from them. And you know, this is what you get.
I know you said, Ray, that it's like them making mistakes, but at the same time, it's one of those where it's like, you got it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, of course he has to like obviously Neb's still making an insane play, but he's being given the chance to make an insane play, which is where like I can't not put my coach hat here and say like that shouldn't never happened. Like, I hate to say it. Like, obviously it's nuts, but FaZe 100% should have not been in the situation as they were in to give him the chance to make those plays. It's just those things happen, bro. It's competition, and God damn, that was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, look, so in this map, you know, we're watching it, and in my head the whole time I'm just thinking, like, I'm gonna pull it up too right now. Like, Gentlemates were just giving them too much respect. Like, they're playing super safe and back, and they almost got kind of forced into playing aggressive because of the Simp streak. So there's a round, I think it's this round right here, maybe, where Envoy pushes up through green, gets a blood, and it's like 3v3 when they use the streak, which was a huge play. Right, now, this one right here. So on all the defenses by Gentlemates, they were sitting so far back and just giving FaZe all the space. So like, FaZe would show FaZe B, maybe Rat A with a smoke, drop it and plant.
But that's how this map is played, though.
Sometimes, yeah, but like, they were sitting far back. And in this round, they knew they had a streak. So this was like one of the only rounds where like they got aggressive. And you see like Envoy gets up here, and when the streak gets called in, I think he gets 1, which like makes this round way more manageable. Like, just him applying the pressure there. Yeah, he gets 1, which is a big call in 04. And this guy's like top mid clearing out A. So it's like, okay, they start playing a little bit more aggressive. Still ends up being a 1v3, right? And so Neptune.
Is this a 5-2 round?
This is 5-3.
Yeah, but this is like one of those weird ones where like, I'd love to know what Chris's play was, because like he was in the streak and saw where Nep was. So like, Maybe he's just trying to catch the timing.
Nep's all the way back here, right? And so
yeah, but he knows where Nep is and theoretically is attempting to go.
In his head, Ben, as a player, I'm telling you this: what he's thinking is these guys are actively pushing towards B, so he's probably thinking Nep's gonna go back towards B.
Wrap back. Yeah.
And this guy's bottom green, and he can see the cross into bottom green, or he can see the cross.
I can't see the
here.
bottom right. Does Nep run new field, and is a new field popped right now? I can't see that in his VOD right now.
He has move field, but it's not popped.
Okay, what are your thoughts, Ray?
I hate to talk about my goat this way, but goddamn Sim, man, can we just go hold hands 3v1? There's zero chance Nep's clutching this if we don't go the same direction. Like,
in his head,
zero chance.
In his head, it's like, okay, this guy's probably rapping me, and if he's not, this guy can he's glancing and he could see the cross here, so it's like I understand.
Just don't bro, I'm just saying, the map control is completely meaningless in a situation like this.
I'll say this,
we've
Ray.
been doing this for 16 years and it hasn't changed since day one. It's the same shit over and over and over again. Just don't give a player a chance.
Hindsight analysis, facts, Jay Webster. I got 12 kills. I called in a hellstorm, and you have my bottom green cross. If I die from
I don't give a shit, okay. And same situation. Would I not be yelling at you after this?
If you're yelling at me, I'm looking over at you.
I'd be yelling at you, Ant. I'd be yelling at you, Ant.
I'm like, get a kill.
Ant's getting flashbacks now. He's getting fucking flashbacks.
Also, brother, can we talk about? All right, hold on. Is Abuza or Draws in chat? Plant B. He just killed your teammate on statue. The best place he can be is bottom green flying. If we're actually going to full hindsight, why are we wrapping the map looking for this guy who's got 4 Zins in, turn out of his gills, plant B, and just play a setup? You know he has to come from here or here.
They scanned a bunch of B post plants at this event.
If we're being hindsight, but at the same time, bro just had a tweak moment. It is what it is. He just plays this perfectly.
Nah, it was nuts. Even the round, I think it was the other clutch that I thought was even more clinical the way he played it, where he was when he was P4 and he was sitting behind the wall and picked someone while jumping up. That was insane.
He had bombs.
There's also a round where
we're about to. Bro.
There was also a round where Sim somehow didn't get at least one on what was I feel like a 2-piece that would have ended this map. Bro, the tweak in divine intervention that happened this series
A
and this
here
map
feels so
crazy.
It's just terrifying, dude. Also, Octane, can you give me your thoughts on running around looping the map looking for a guy like Neptune?
This is the round actually. This is the same round I was talking about. Yeah, this play here, the way Nep plays this.
He just knows his teammate. This is just knowing your teammate.
That was the way he played. That was just the way he plays it is so clinical. Beautiful. To be fair,
yeah.
Plant B when Simp dies instantly, 100%. I'm not putting that on Simp, bro. Y'all bugging.
This
Chris
is more high percentage. Yeah, we're leaving EV on the board here,
so
bro.
This is beautiful. This is a straight up, I'm LeBron, I'm taking over the round. Watch how this plays out, bro. This guy pushes with bomb all the way up to P2, gets the first kill, and then just backs up and terminates everybody. Straight up, I'm calling game moment. We got an A push here. We got Envoy working the left. That was actually a beautiful nade, by the way. This right here, this was beautiful. He hits both of them.
That's a good nade, great nade. Get both players weak in that position, but
green is good. We know there's no flank. We can just work this. I like how they played this. As soon as Sib gets 1 bullet in the draws, Nep's all right, fuck it, let's run him. Gets pushed up, kills the guy inner, and gets out.
I mean, the nade was good, but I can kind of guess the nade a little now.
Wait, do you not even? Ben, you don't understand? No, Ben, let's not do this, bro. He nades them so that there's nobody green, nobody flank. They're not even gonna commit. That's a good play by Envoy to slow him down.
Yeah, but it's still played pretty basic at A. It's still played with the two guys aren't gonna just slide out fucking statue.
Sure, but
We've seen FAZE a million. Well, but if you watch FAZE play, it's not they've tried this strat of trying to deny the bomb play and throw a smoke down, and they never win those rounds. Usually, maybe they do in scrims. They're generally gonna play the retake. Yeah.
Well,
they're gonna play the retake. Maybe try a line of nades and get the guy, but it's didn't really change too much of the destination of this round, no?
I mean, it just slows down and lets the play develop at A. If you think when Envoy's doing this, they're backing up and now they're getting ready to take space. It's these guys are still trying to figure out what they're doing. It just slows down whatever play they were trying to make. But either way, Neptune gets up and he gets a 1-on-1, which is beautiful. Good job to Sib, even though he dies. And then they just get world starred. Bro.
Yeah, somehow they just get angled here. I think Zach's a little bit out of the play.
Right, thoughts.
I don't know. Also, but the divine intervention. Look at this. Look at the mini map, bro. They get like perfect angle. They get like good angles to this top mid push. Like FaZe actually played this 2-2 like pretty good.
I would.
Like the fact that the fact that one of them doesn't get 2 is crazy.
I would love to hear the comms in this round from both sides.
What's FaZe's exact retake? So they got 2 top mid.
Afford to get 2.
So they got 2 top mid, 2 here. Neptune kills 1, and then they double fly off top mid.
I think that's a great. I think the way FaZe played this is awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
I think it's a good reaction to the pressure being front, because now, like, if when you have a guy push through bomb side, your player supporting him is going to be looking over, which then should alleviate space top mid. Like that's.
Yeah.
I think honestly, like everything about this round is the way FaZe wanted to go down, except the 2v1. Like it's.
Honestly, I didn't even notice it the first time, but like Neptune opens this with the kill on Abuza, who's like side P2. If he doesn't get that kill, like,
have you listened to a word I've said?
I think 04 is getting like 3 maybe in this situation as GG's.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why it's so good. He gets the shots down, and then Neptune just instant takes the space, kills the guy's side door. And then right here, FaZe played it great. It's like we know there's 2 here, and Envoy's bottom green because he just naded us. So it's like we're just gonna fly off top and kill the 1 statue and let the guys P2 get kills.
Does Nep get another kill?
Does who?
Yeah, he does.
Yes,
he
Nep runs back, and so
they have info on Nep here. I don't know, bro.
He kills the guy that dropped. Well, no. So the way they played it is, and I love what FaZe did. 04 flies out top straight to statue to shoot the guys. It's like either Sib or whoever he's assuming is gonna be outer, and then Simp flies off with him to shoot the guy that's coming from bottom green that just naded them, which was Envoy. But Nep kills this guy and just trades everyone. Like he just literally trades.
That's crazy.
He turns around and helps everyone. So like Envoy doesn't die there from Simp, trades it, which forces 04 to shoot Envoy, and then he shits on 04. So technically he just kind of bait and switched his whole team, but it was flawless.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's all hindsight in the moment, right? Like,
yeah.
But the only thing that should have been better on FaZe here is just them chatting together whenever it was Nep last alive. That's the only thing you could. But in the moment with the comms and how things are going, like it's just that's COD, bro. Like things like this are gonna happen. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, Draws probably should have got involved earlier. Like when he gets shot, I think from Sib, he like backs down for too long. He goes all the way back.
Like until Nep kills whoever's like statue, Draws doesn't know where Nep is. So like pause right here. That's when Draws gets info on Nep, because Nep could easily ran through inner to lobby if he wanted to get cracked. Draws is playing with that in mind.
I've seen a lot of people die in this spot, so it's like the only other ways you could play it is like sit more on the stairs, so they got to come like deeper to try and chow you. You know what I'm saying? But then you're like kind of a little bit deeper, and like the timing's a little bit fucked. But
this is what we gotta switch though. When you guys are playing a guy like this who's coming off a clutch, who's just beaming, bro, 04, you gotta chill, dog. Dog, I'm telling you, this guy's on. He's got 3 Zins in. He's turned. And Draws just got back down with an AR in his hand. You do not want this guy in the 1v1 right here, bro. You just don't. He's not so that one. Oh, yo, low key. Hold up. I think I figured it out. Low key. He got a call that Nep was 1E, bro. He probably got a 1-shot call.
Yeah, that's fair.
He got a 1-shot call. He's 100.
Like again, like bro, they're not stupid. Like obviously they're reacting based on what's going on in the moment. Like it's all fat. Like this shit, we're seeing this. We're breaking this down on the slow time. Like this is instant, bro. Like,
yeah, it's hindsight. You can't do it.
He's hearing a 1-shot. Like if I'm 04 hearing 1-shot, I'm guaranteed challenging. There's no way I'm not. Like he literally got his health back as his twin challenged him. So it's just.
They also team shoot this guy if there wasn't an absolute mix. Like next to tunnel with Zach's last one, the play getting called, so there's just all this shit going on the fucking wall run over there, and like he's trying to react to that call out. Like, yeah, I mean, 04 probably got chilled, but
yeah, I agree,
dude,
Ben.
This map was like, I agree with Ray, bro. It's a real mix of like net making plays, divine fucking intervention on a round, like for example, where Simp didn't get those 1 or 2 of those fucking kills, and like, you know, FaZe cutting a couple of trolls, and that's how they were great situationals, but the fucking universe and their bad decisions dictated they weren't going to win.
Well, that's what I said before the game, Damon. I said this is. I told Draws at the event too. I said you can't do anything about it. He just tweaked. I mean, he just slammed them. But also, you know, going back and even hindsighting it, you know, frame by frame, both teams played that great. Yeah, the strat from Gentleman's was awesome. The setup from Envoy left to clearing everything. The retake from top mid, like the one place to retake that from was top mid, and having 2 slow P2, like it just is what it is. It came down to the last kill. So that's really what made it so awesome.
It was a good round for both teams. Yeah, the first clutch to me was obviously problematic and kind of a throw, but this one was just COD round, bro. Like straight up.
And then the 5-5, in case you all forgot, you might as well watch this too. Look at this. Envoy gets hit with the Yobi, dog. Off the rip. See ya. I think he kind of botches the streak here. Hits the wall, right? Yeah, hits the wall. Shout out Sib, dude. Ethical baller. Oh, right here. I want you to watch this. This is a brilliant play by Sib.
Oh no, I saw this. Trust me, this was an insane pinch, bro. Insane pinch.
Brilliant play. So Sib, first of all, evens out the odds. He gets the kill, right? And now it's like, all right, this is a championship round. Everybody's playing in depths, dude.
I think that's my issue with it, is that like there's clearly in this situation, and something that I've been more up about, because this is what FaZe is doing like right now should have happened probably a little earlier.
I agree.
And I think the timings on the way around play that would have been way different if they did. But like they're like now both teams are playing to win the round, but for a minute there they weren't, and this is
regrouping.
I mean, this is just insane. This is an insane round.
So they flip the map and they get it down, and just a brilliant play by Sibs. Like the way this plays out. So this guy goes all the way back to the depths. I'm pretty sure, right?
I mean, the timings are happening
he's
on
got
this map
green,
are crazy,
he's
bro.
got drop down, and this guy has if somebody needs to come through here, right? So as the round, as there's a little bit of a lull, Sib just takes the timing. I don't know if he hears him or whatever it is, but as soon as he shoots him, he knows this guy has, if they wrap here, I'm clearing out top mid. This guy has green. I'm just gonna flank. Brilliant, brilliant play by Sib. Everything's like somewhat covered timing wise, and like he just takes his shot. That's brilliant. That's awesome.
It's such a
good for you,
It's
man.
divine intervention, bro.
It's such a At the same time, like we could be easily talking about play in a bad way. Like someone could have been lobby just waiting for him to pinch, and he could have just died for free. Like you just like all these things are just like it's such a in the moment thing. And I think Dan brings up a good thing in the chat. It's like you like and he's coaching this, so he's probably seen a million of these rounds play out. And I guarantee you, very few rounds have played out this way. Like just with how things lined up to where both teams like literally swap side on a map like this, where there's like there's not even like 3 lanes, there's like 2 and a half.
Well, the thing
lanes.
is though, Ray, is like they know that they either went bottom green or through B, right? So like realistically, he's not expecting a guy to have went through B and just be sitting here. You know what I mean? Like obviously there is some inherent risk in the play, but like after he shoots like a green,
everybody gonna make it risky. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But he did shoot.
It's
more. I think it's more the idea that he shot a guy from top mid. So like if I'm a player in that vicinity, like let's say FaZe was a little slower to get to where they got to on P3, someone could have been easily just sitting there watching for that play to make sure that he wasn't pitching.
Yeah. No,
like, but again, all this is hindsight. Like this is extremely hindsight. I hate these kind of discussions because it's all moment. But like, but yeah, 100% like super high level play from Sib here, and it honestly just a game-winning play. Period.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, that's awesome. Good for you, dude. Good for them. That was about as electrifying as a win as you're gonna find, bro.
That was nuts.
It was an awesome losers final. I think we're gonna see these two teams battle a lot. They're really good at all the modes. I think Gentlemates got better at the non-hardpoint modes over the course of both the end of the split and at the event. And that's why they were able to, win all the searches in grand final. And we'll get to that in a bit. But bro, because again, we're the parity we're talking about, bro. Styles and matchups. FaZe are arguably the best Colossus S&D team in the world, and they let this one slip.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you though, Ben. On your initial thing about the map 4s, the hardpoint, when we looked a little deeper into it, it did kind of slip a little bit. So they got something to work on, but they'll be all right.
Yeah, no, I think FaZe are in a good spot. You can't if you're a FaZe fan, new team, 2 new players, got top 3. Can't really. The players probably feel like they had a chance to win this event. They make grand finals, but
all right,
I can't bitch too much about this.
That's important, bro. Like that's what's important as a team, and like where like obviously we don't have the insight on that, but like obviously with how they played and how things went, there's no other, like you can't think otherwise. Like this team knows they can win. Yeah. It's only a matter of time before they put things together and like on a more holistic point with all their map pool that they really give themselves a true chance to be super consistent at having a good chance to win.
Wow, that was fun to talk about, dude. That was amazing series. And now another banger series, Ben. Let's kick it off with you. Our 2 finalists, the Gentlemates and Optic. He said, I'm out. I ain't watching these timings again. All right, Damon. First of all, Ben, talk to me about the vibes in the arena headed into this final. Optic were looking unstoppable. It felt like they were going to run away with it. But just talk to me about the atmosphere in the arena and then your overall thoughts on the series.
Yeah, I really like the whiteout concept from Optic, trying to borrow from Penn State. I thought that was cool. with the championship whites. So I think they should do it again for another event that they host. That was a good. I don't know who was the idea that was. I don't know who at Optic came with the idea, but they should claim responsibility because it was sick.
It looked cool on screen too.
it
Just
looked
to your
really
point,
good.
like it looked
Yeah.
cool from a like online viewership as well. They made it like look out. It was sick.
Maybe they also went to Penn State and they're like, oh, that was great at Penn State. Even though Penn State lose the whiteout games, like fuck it, we'll try it for Optic. I think this is what this just came down to is we've seen time and time again in these best of sevens. Like one, the winners team gets, and we'll probably talk about it, not much advantage. Two, there's only 2 hard points. So overload, the third game mode, and S&D are definitely up in priority. And like oftentimes one of the teams pull out most of the S&Ds. And so yeah, I mean, you go 7, it was crazy, but you know, for Optic, like a couple of the S&D, the S&D timings were crazy, especially in map 2 and the last map. I think generally, unfortunately, in this series, I don't think Kyler and Brandon really had their best ball, especially in say that like first map. But just a tough loss for Optic. I wouldn't be worried about Optic competing at future events. It's a tough L that it wasn't your day, and you move on.
I agree, Ben. I mean, I think you know, for them, you lost 3 S&Ds. Like sometimes it's gonna happen. For me, it comes down to one play in this series, which we're gonna talk about. Which you could probably say on a lot of maps, but yeah, for Gentlemates, I mean, maybe if you're Optic, you should ice them a bit longer. Honestly, that's my first tweet after map 1. Like Patty P would still be on the toilet right now. Ray, talk to me about it. What are your overall thoughts on the final?
I mean, it was an awesome series. Like, I think even with all the like, I mean, I don't want to say struggles. That's such a bad word to use here, but Optic hasn't looked the best in their matches going into the event. And I think some people were like tweaking about Optic. I mean, I don't know what people are tweaking about. This team just came off 2 insane wins last year. Trust me, I know, because I was the receiving end of that. I think they're just. I still had him at the start of the year, like basically being a contender, if not having a good chance to win all the events this year. I have a hard time seeing this team not making 90% of the finals, if not even all of them.
Really?
Just because of how strong they are. Like, bro, it's like with everything that's been not going well for them, they still showed up and played the way they did. Like, this team is just solid from top to bottom. Like, even in the finals, like you look at statistically, like, bro, like these stats would indicate a very one-sided final, and it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Like, that's kind of the base. Like look at those stats, right? Like, what if we look at them? Like, my screen's a little blurry. Was it -29 Kyler,
yeah,
-17 Dashy?
-17, yeah.
So what's the overall on the plus minus? Was it 20?
29 and 17.
So what, like 20? The 26? 26 is a team.
Oh,
Yeah, -26 is a team.
20. Yeah, 28.
Something like that. So let's just say, let's put that
yeah.
in line. And the fact that they lost 3 searches, I'm sorry, brother. Like you would think they lost 3 hard points with this. Like this team is very much with Gentlemates the top 2 in the league right now.
I agree.
I think it's just tough. Like, it's so. I hate talking about these things in hindsight, but like fucking Optic had a 5-2 lead in game 2. Obviously, if you take that with a grain of salt, they probably would have had a better chance to win the series. That was probably like the tipping point that really made things the way they did.
Yeah.
But bro, like even like I loved watching that. That was one of the better finals we've had because it was just so. Most of the maps are close. Even the maps like Scoreline that weren't super close were still every round search, every like play in control or overload. And
even this
like,
exposure, it was tied until the P3 P4 second rotation where like Optic just won back to back, right? Which one is my complaint on the map? But it was
so
close.
And it actually pisses me off from a viewer standpoint that we were literally a 4v2 trash play away in game 7 to get a round 11 to determine the event. That would have been the only thing I could think that would have made this event better is if that actually had happened. That would have been fucking insane.
Major 1 last year, was that round 11 on the Skyline?
It was. It
was. when Thieves for the 98th time
went underground.
Check bomb. Yeah, they planned it and didn't give themselves an ability to check and defuse, and then I think it was Tyler. It was either Tyler or Chris that just like, yo, I'm just fucking hopping this shit. Like, let's go.
Also, the way this series ended, talk about an anticlimactic way. The fucking time ran out on the search.
I know, dude.
I was so like, what?
So
yeah, no, it was just bro. Gentlemates had some divine intervention S&D this weekend, bro. On Sunday, like on some crazy shit.
I would love to talk to somebody from Gentlemates soon. I only congratulate Neptune. I didn't get to talk to any of them after, but I want to ask them who was calling adjustment plays in search because it was awesome. Like they were getting
Envoy.
They were getting blitzed mid. Envoy, here, let's go back. We got time, right? Nobody's pinched for
I'm
time
pretty
here.
sure
We no one's scrimming today. We got
Alright,
plenty of
so
time, bro. We
I
can
want to
take
talk
4
about
hours
this
of show.
search, man. So Envoy slips through mid a couple times. Like, they were down in this map and they were getting dominated mid. He just starts taking over, bro. He just pops midfield and instantly goes through, drops bomb here, beautiful. And it's because like the rounds prior, they were getting cooked through mid. So he figured that, they probably won't play mid again. I'm just going to send it. Love this. This is a Rambo Ray play. They win this. Ghosty pops off, gets 3. Bam. Awesome adjustment. And these next 2 rounds, I think Envoy slips through mid. Yeah, he gets through mid again.
Sam was saying that Dante was calling for them this weekend.
Dante's
Is it
the
like
man.
early? Is he like earlier on the strats or like mid round? I'm assuming mid round's probably a little bit everyone to be fair, but like someone's clearly seeing something typically in the middle of a round and calling something. I'm not saying it's always someone different, but
Yeah.
more often than not, it's one person seeing things more often than not.
So Optic hadn't done this before on this.
Sam said both. So yeah, fucking shout out Sid then. Jesus,
This was just a
sick.
perfect play call. They sent 2 to B and they get Envoy in this corner here, bro, and he doesn't get spotted. Another huge play. These are back-to-back rounds where Envoy's just making plays, bro.
I mean, I agree. And when we talk about some of the historical best teams we've ever seen on this map, like they're able to play both ways. Able to play like because of the way the 3 lanes play spread and like play a pretty solid defense and offense where you slow it down, but also have offensive executes where you split the map in half and like really pinch
Yeah.
you know, like push a team into making mistakes, especially on the defensive side.
So he gets through, and they never really knew Ben like the exact spot he was playing, but he just shoots somebody in the back. And then we get to this, right? So 1, 2 back-to-back awesome play calls. I don't know who it was. We get to this 5-5. First of all, I just gotta say, if Damon's in chat, shout out Optic, awesome play call. Let's get this fucking rock down and let's set up the late play. They plan it for water stairs, right? For who? So in this situation, in my opinion, as soon as Ant dies, the guy Ring dies, as soon as he dies, Hook's gotta be going to try to make a play or like help out a little bit.
Well, hold on, back it up, because we were debating this on the flank. Do you think that Ant had the ability, plus should have gone to middle instead of Ring? I don't know if he had
In hindsight,
the ability to get out.
I think you need a presence here, because if he backs up, is kind of what you're saying, right? If he gives this up, they take over Ring, and if they have a smoke, you're in a really tough spot. Like,
how much can you stretch? I was gonna ask, like, how much can you stretch the bomb? Like is a smoke a reliable way to
it's
protect
GA.
the bomb diffuser?
Stretching is GA to that extent, I think.
That's what I'm saying. But like, when you can still like, I'm not saying slide stretch, but you can still stretch the bomb away. Like you can still pick up the bomb from not its exact location.
Yeah, I think so.
So like, how far is that? Like, is a smoke like? Because if what, let's say we say the bomb is very safe to where Ant planted it, to where it's for sure, we can for sure kill it from stairs no matter what, they put a smoke or anything, then you would argue that maybe that in hindsight, the play that Ant makes to go, it should be going mid instead of going Ring, because then we don't need presence Ring.
So the issue I have with this, Ray, is like, I see what you guys are saying. The issue I have with this though is that Envoy slipped through mid twice now in the 2 defenses prior to this.
I don't know how Kyler, bro,
And so
running back and play it. The timing is insane, bro.
No,
How Kyler doesn't see him is like.
Yeah, that's around there, to be honest.
Again, I'm telling you, divine fucking intervention for Gentlemates on some of these S&D rounds.
Well, I just don't know what the strat is, because his play is to be the clutch. Like, he's the clutch player, but like he should be making sure nobody can get water stairs. Because right now, Mercules has the push through here, right? So Pillars is open, but they're kind of like leaving that open is fine, but nobody can flank, and so he just needs to make sure nobody can get water steps. But also he turns.
I'm sorry, Kyler. At 99 out of 100 times, Kyler sees Dell. I'm telling you, that is insane COD timing.
But even right here, Kyler needs to go make a play. Like, he's just playing a 1v4 clutch. Like, that's his plan here. He's just like.
Yeah, but I think he knows that Dill. I think the problem is he knows that Dill is lurking somewhere because he hasn't been seen, and he's probably like, where the fuck is this guy?
Okay, we gotta take a risk at some point.
I don't get shot in the back.
Nah,
I mean, all this is hindsight. Like, I think,
it is, sure.
like Sam said in the chat, that Merc maybe gives up mid for a second. Maybe that's why Ant doesn't feel comfortable going through mid.
Well,
after
Ant
he
dies, so they're getting pressured. So like he has
well,
to help.
I mean, realistically speaking, it's a weird play overall, because Ant goes Ring alone, and then you still have a guy mid, you have a guy water stairs. So it's basically like the way Gentleman's plays is almost like a 3v2 in Ring. They're obviously gonna get outnumbered. And then like obviously I don't know if Kyler's playing for someone to push through all the way through bed, or what kind of angle he has from where he was, it's super unfortunate that someone gets through that. Obviously, the timing was insane too.
I think he's just playing the clutch. I don't think there's anything else besides. I think the
Maybe,
whole
yeah.
round it's 5-5. He's just playing his life to and hoping his team kills 2 people and then he can just win 1v2
Right.
and guy on bomb.
That's
That's
fair.
all Hook's
I mean,
doing.
maybe that
And so
could have
like,
been their win condition. Who knows? Like, it's just strategically that's the way they played it. So
yeah, their win condition just it relies on Shotzzy to stay alive.
yeah, or get a kill. Like if I mean, to be fair, no one got a kill anywhere. Like if Ant gets one here, the round's over from the start. Like
Yeah.
it's just we can look at it in 20 different ways. To me, it's all going to be super hindsight. Just they had a strategy in mind and it just didn't work. Period.
No, for sure.
Okay, nothing crazy to look at here.
But man,
Just insane that it was a 5-2 round, 5-2 lead. Sorry, that's
and
more
they
than crazy
had it
shit.
down for it. Yeah, to me it comes down to that. I know the last map there's some crazy rounds, but what a final, boys! What a freaking final!
Yeah,
That was
it was a banger. I mean, we should go watch that last round of the last map
Yeah,
because.
Oh my god,
I mean,
David,
it's
hide
just-
your eyes. Just exit out.
I'm just saying, brother. This shit that happened.
Hold
Those
on,
would
let's watch
torture
this.
me, bro.
This was awesome, by the way, because it felt like it was over.
Neptune with a bomb recovery, and again, not a clue. They have to know he's underneath. They have to know. Mercury's on the run, and this is it. 2v1.
This was so awesome, dude. Shout out Mercules, bro. He makes the only play he could here. I just gotta get him off bomb, bro. Got him. I'm out.
Just maybe.
Like, why are we okay? So we talked about this on the show. You're in a 2v1. Why are we smoking the bomb and just giving him an ability to just do some crazy
You're
shit? Do you
just
guys
thinking
agree or
he's
disagree
not
with that
gonna
take?
slide up. I mean,
How much time was left at the round?
when they smoked
I can't like before he played, but yeah, when he smoked it, there wasn't a lot of time. It was like 10-15 seconds. Yeah, I can't see it there. The screen's cut.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you, it's 17, 16. They throw the smoke at 16.
Yeah, that's just a tough one because if he goes to plant without the smoke and they get an angle on the plant, like because
Yeah.
you can't plant anywhere super safe, right?
Yeah, no, not really.
And they also have zero info on where Merc is. Merc could have easily
I mean,
been
he could
coming
be up
back
top.
B2.
He could literally be
Yeah, it
laying
could be
down
anywhere,
top.
really. Yeah, it's like I don't necessarily like. To me, it's more. I don't necessarily mind the smoke, but like we should be fully expecting the fact that he's going to try and kill the bomb carrier if there's a smoke there, because it gives him a way of getting in for free.
How does he fucking
Like-
win this gunfight, bro? He's 48
Yeah, it's
HP.
nuts.
Like, this is crazy. He just hits the first hip fire and on.
I mean, he kind of he kind of catches Dill slipping.
Yeah, he chows.
Yeah,
It's
man,
just a
that's
timing
an
chow.
insane clutch.
Yeah,
Dude, that is electric, bro. Like, that's
Yeah, that was
such an
nuts.
improbable win.
But Dill gets his get back in the next round, bro. Dill does some
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
insane shit at the end of this one. Like I was saying before on my stream earlier that like I think not enough people are gassing Dill Envoy
Wait,
for
this was
how he
kind
played
of
on the stage
a psycho play call, no, Ben?
out of Optic.
Yeah. I'm bugging? This is kind of insane.
I mean, it's just more. I mean, there's probably some things that happened previous in the map leading up to a decision like this. Okay, like it's,
Well,
I
they
don't think it's
tag-
just a random.
Oh, yeah, let's get into this, Rake. I want to ask you something about it. They get into this situation where Sib can see if they cross back. First of all, let's talk about the brilliance of this motherfucker right here. This guy played out of his mind. I mean, he's flying. He has
Dante was-
18,000
Yeah, yeah,
damage.
no.
He gets pre-stunned and like they nade him. So
Yeah, they knew approximately where it was.
yeah, like he's getting trapped currently. There's guys playing. They're back down green. It's not like he has a hell of a lot of help here. So look how he plays this, bro. So he gets wall banged. So now it's like Sib's just fucked. You got a guy at Motel. Watch this, bro.
Yeah.
This guy's elite. He gets back to mid and he's just like trying to play for information on the cross.
Yeah, he's playing off 5, getting info, nothing's pushing
Yeah.
front yet, so he's trying to take the space he had back.
So he must be
Doesn't have
calling
to-
out like nobody's wrapping back, right? Like he can see if they cross back to A. So he
Yeah. I think Optic may have overthought this one a little
The
bit because
timing-
it was like. Go ahead, Ray.
The timing on like Sib didn't have eyes on that cross that you just looked at the entire time, so the timing on it could have been a little weird. I think that's why 7's still kind of A, but
this guy's elite.
now they see where the play is going. But yeah, I mean, just
Oh, he
like
died. I thought
pause
he
it
got
right.
one.
No, pause it after Sib dies. Like
Yep.
how this is criminal how Optic loses this round. Like this is
I don't know how
criminal,
that.
bro.
I don't know how
Like,
that
this
was
is-
4v2.
Like I guarantee you play this out 100 times, Optic wins 99 out of 100.
I thought Sib
situations.
got one. Yeah, this is criminal, bro.
No, bro, this is
Where
insane,
he
bro.
double hopped up.
Like look, you
Just
double
plant
hop
the
up, get
bomb,
picked.
dog. We killed Envoy.
It's tough, bro.
Dan's are weak. We got a guy
Look,
like
Brandon's in.
I'm
in
telling
the
you, Dill,
back.
Divine, bro.
Yeah, like-
Divine intervention,
If
bro.
we wait,
like,
if you guys
I'll
wait
tell-
2 seconds, he kills them.
There's just so many, like, I hate these kind of situations because there's literally a million things differently that could have been done except that, and they win the round in every other situation, every other decision they make. It's just that was like the one decision that was just shit in the moment because they were both there looking at the hop.
I thought I remembered Sip getting one on a cross here. Wow, damn, yeah, nah. They played this like really good up until this point. You just plan it right here, you win. Because Dashi has the hop and Shotzi has top, so it's like
we were deprived from a round 11 game 7 for this. Damn it! I wanted to see that so bad. That would have been sick.
On the hunt. He finds it, a 1v1.
damn, bro.
Now with Ghosty on the hunt.
Ghosty just pisses on Shotzi.
He finds it, a 1v1. 10 seconds to win. Dash
And then the timing on the 1v1 here was also nuts.
Yeah, it was.
He's just like perfectly going back and forth.
It's just it was crazy to
This
watch.
is insane, bro.
It was crazy to watch. Like, I'm telling you.
He even went to check Bob. Like, that's crazy, bro.
Can we talk about this round from Brandon's perspective? He is in hell this round.
he
he goes
has
through
no idea
Delhi.
what the fuck is going on.
Dude, he goes through Delhi. He's like, oh, 4v2. Bet. I got you. Oh, Ant, you're top green? All right, yo, let's plan it. I'm jumping up. Oh, there's one back. There's one back. Help us, Ant. Slam, 2-piece. Brandon's like, I'm flanking. I got you, bro. Just stay alive. I'm here. Oh, I seen him. He's in before. Oh, fuck. He's one shot, Brandon. He's one. Brandon is in a loop.
Brandon's just dead. Like,
He's chasing the play, bro. That's crazy.
oh my god,
That's tough, man.
I'm looking left to right. I'm like, boys, y'all just got to buy me 2 seconds, bro. At any point in the round.
That's so tough.
Very, very tough.
But can we talk about another funny moment after this map? That like Neff is not sure how to lift a trophy here after this map.
Well, I wouldn't be
Guys,
either. That
do
thing
you
was
guys-
tiny.
Well, I think Zid talked about how that was like a backup trophy, or
Yeah, they missed the
they're
deadline.
making another version. But like,
Yeah.
bro, they have to help Neff.
Wait, first of all, look how he's holding it, bro. Listen, Nep, I promise you that shit ain't going nowhere, bro. Double fisted up.
First time, bro. First time. It's okay.
Oh, they helped him out.
I'm
Hey,
happy
man,
for
he
Trav, bro.
deserved it.
They're like, you gotta
Happy
hold up for the
for
photo, bro. We gotta get the moment, man.
Wait,
I
yo,
hope
I got
all
a
my guys
question
from
for the
last year get
pros.
one.
Yo, pros, where are you guys getting all these new sweats from, bro? This is a new style. I need to get some, dude. This is the new style, the baggier ones, bro. Somebody link me a good pair. Unk's about to join the crew. But yeah, bro, what a series, what a tournament, what a vibe. Any
Wait,
other thoughts
can
on
I
Major
make
One?
can I make potentially another hot take? I might get
We
flamed
need
for
vote
this.
that, chat.
I might get flamed for this take. It is what it is, right? I've gone to plenty of championship games. Some where the team that I'm supporting won, and some where they lost. And generally, I can't remember a time where I left if my team lost and didn't stay to at least the trophy lift. But that venue cleared out after Optic won, so like the trophy lift photo ended up being like pretty empty. Like, what do you guys think about that? Is that just like whatever? I'm overthinking it, or I think it's like L fans.
I don't know.
I
Tough one.
think since everybody loves COD, you know, that's at an event, obviously. You guys all want this thing to stay around. You want it to grow. Why do we don't have to be like every other sport? Show some love, bro. Stay for the trophy ceremony and show respect. It's different, right? That's a game 7 banger. Both teams put their heart on the line. Show some love, man. It's not that hard. You come to an event to support a team, you watch the final, man. Listen to the interview. Maybe you'll learn some about that team that you might like. I know some people are saying in traditional sports it's the same thing, but
Does
I don't know.
every sport do this? Like, I mean, I'm only really an avid NHL watcher, and everyone stays to see the Stanley Cup being given at the end of a game,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
regardless if
That's
it's home or
awesome.
away.
I was gonna bring the NHL moment because it's like people stay for the handshake, right? You know, in hockey,
Yeah,
you
it's
finish the
special. It's
series, the
cool.
handshake. Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool.
I've seen it happen in the NFL. I saw it happen in the college football playoff final. Like, I see why people do it. I don't blame them. I thought like a lot of fans left though. Like, it was
yeah,
like
it was a lot.
it was like 80% of it. He cleared out insta.
Why would you stay for that? Because you're not on the team, pal. All right, I know you're heartbroken, but like, listen, show some love to the guys who win. It just, you know, let's make our scene grow. Let's be better than whatever other sports and other esports. Let's fucking support each other and all these teams that are laying it out there. That's just how I look at it. But hey, you can continue to do whatever the hell you want to do. Yeah, I think that's everything on the docket, bro. We got some awards that we're gonna give out. The best play has to go to Neptune.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Best play.
Which of the two clutches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finals MVP, we're going Sib.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. They made it really easy for us. Event MVP, Neptune is kind of what I had now.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
easy.
sir.
Yeah.
And then top 3 SMGs, I had Neptune, Shotzi, and Simp.
Probably pretty hard to advocate for anything else.
Right?
Just given how like I mean, you could like if some other teams made it further, you probably could have just based on what happened. Yeah, I would say that's
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Joe's obviously good this game, but his team fucking didn't play well. Like
They all balled. The
Yeah.
guys we put.
it's like
Yeah. And then
I think Amp people will probably say like I don't know about Amp. Like Amp fucking popped up at this event. So if you think Amp is on the top 3, fucking talk to a wall.
yeah, he's top
Looking
7
at you,
Slayer
Patrick
rating,
Price.
top 5 KD.
Talking to you, the Slayer, and that's a fact.
A fact, man. And then top 3 AR Sib, Mercules, and Abuza were my top 3. I thought, other than the first day, Abuza turned it around and started to play really well. I know there could be argument for other people, but I thought Abuza played really well.
Can we guess draws?
We can.
Fucking
Draws
Zach was
on Sunday,
mid-pack online for
Draws
the majority of this
balling.
split, and I'll be honest, Zach didn't play good at EWC last year. He didn't play good at Champs last year. Draws was on a cold streak,
They both played
and
well.
like, bro, when they needed him this weekend after that fucking stinky on Thursday, like he was there. Shout out to Zach, bro.
Yeah, Zach played good. Sure.
Where is Zach? Did he outperform statistically Abuza at the tournament?
Sunday I would assume he played really good on. I remember Zach playing really good on Sunday.
1.19 here, or just a KD for Abuza 1.14, 1.12 for Jaws, very similar. Search and destroy. Yeah, I mean they played really similar. They both were good, dude. Both were good. The one I felt like that was one trend with FaZe throughout the tournament was it was kind of hard to get everybody going at the same time. Ray, you notice that?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the pace stuff is obviously a thing that's going to affect that. I think like actually one stat, I don't know if it's the same for every team, but one stat that I really like about Agilemates is like if you look at their generalistic like kill stats, they're all more or less in the same ballpark in terms of like the amount of engagements
Are they?
and kills they
That's
get.
good.
Like I think there's like I'm just looking at this again. I hate stats, but just looking at some stats that are maybe more matterful than others, like their Slay ratings, their lowest is Ghosty at 87 and their highest is Nep at 94. And this is through the start of the season.
Yeah,
And that's
really
a pretty tight, gap between your highest and your lowest.
good.
And I think most of the top teams will have that kind of closeness to each other. So
That. Well, we got one call in, so I guess we can do that. If you got, we'll do a couple call-ins. Do like 4 or 5. If you guys want to join up and you got some questions for us to round this episode out, feel free to join !point Discord in the chat, and we'll drag you in here. So I'll invite the first guy real quick.
Yeah, let me put the link again. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you guys like 2 minutes to join up.
that's funny. So in the chat said Rambo hates stats because he's always negative with without dual wheel pistols. I mean, fuck, you got me there, buddy.
I mean,
that's good range.
It's
mate.
really just like I like stats to point out like stuff that's like really like out of the ordinary or like super outliers, like the Abe one we talked about with the non-traded, and then the kills being really low as well. Those are like weird ones, or like I don't know. Like the Joe's Slayer rating is absurd.
There's like a threshold. There's a threshold where things are kind of like normal, and there's some that are just clearly abnormal, and that's when you kind of use those. That's the way I see it.
Like Joe is still just freaking ridiculous, bro. Crimp's ridiculous.
He's insane, bro.
Like the Mercury's consistency since coming into the league is unbelievable.
It's been pretty good.
All
Yo,
right.
Dom, what's good, bro?
Yo, what's good, fellas?
Not much, man. What do you got for us today?
So, obviously, I'm a FaZe fan, man. Just want to say, what do you guys think of Lucas stands in the team now after the performance, the major? Do you think he still gets pulled up, or he just stays as a sub?
Has he been playing?
Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
I think it would have taken a lot for him to be pulled up right away. like just based on the players that are on this team and the success they've had so far.
Mhm.
I think you needed to have like a very abysmal, like 0-6 kind of performance, and someone very much like whoever they thought that had in mind to potentially replace him for. But I think Aluka, we've talked about this last show, but I think Aluka is more of a long-term project rather than like someone filling in for them this season.
I like that.
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
where
they
I see it.
started losers 1, bro, and made a run to top 3. So I don't think they're making any changes. But but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of credence to that before. But dude, everybody's playing well. Like, it was a good tournament out of FaZe. But
I mean, to add the Aluka thing that people keep forgetting, bro. This kid didn't grow up in the U.S. He emigrated here this summer to go to university CCL in order to play, and then like stuff just kicked up, and now he's a sub. Or like, give this kid some fucking time, bro.
Right.
Like I think like he didn't play bad this weekend. Like I think there are some systemic teams of how that Brooklyn team plays that like is why they look awkward on a bunch of different maps. And I know they won the cup coming in, but that was a crazy loser bracket run. Like I think Luka will be fine, but you know this could play it a couple ways. He could eventually be on this roster, or it could be like what FaZe did with Sib. Like there was just never a reason for them to ever call up Dante, and he ends up going to another org and popping off.
yeah, and look how when Dante came in the league, he was ready, bro. So, So yeah, that's probably be his trajectory if I were to forecast it. But thank you for the question, Dom.
No problem.
What up, my guy Turtle? How we doing?
What's good? I'm offended at Rambo Ray saying he hates stats.
I like turtles. I don't like turtles anymore. No, I'm kidding.
Oh well. I need Ben to tell me one more time about the hot hand coming from losers.
You want to talk about his losers advantage in finals second thing?
Yes.
So what was the stat? You messaged me a stat. You remember what the stat was this weekend?
Yes. Map ones in grand finals. The winners wins 19. They're 19-10.
Oh.
So
and they win the series 18 and losers win 11.
Let them know, Turtle.
Okay, so what you're saying is the current math is that like there's this like eye test that we think that there's no winner's advantage. The math is supporting the winners are actually closing out these grand finals.
Yes, but I think it doesn't matter anyway. I just think the better team will win anyway, and it's not about being a hot hand.
Do you think, Turtle, that we're better served? Because I personally think I've heard pack pitch continuation series 2 best of 5s. Like I don't know, the grand finals.
I don't like the format any more than you guys do.
Would you be down for like a best of 9 with like the winner gets a 1-0 advantage? Like, gotta give them this like.
I like that one.
Max says absolutely.
Yeah,
I think that's the best. I think that's the best. We did it for was it year one? The one we won online. The chance we won online was that format.
That was absurd.
Yeah, I just
MW19 champs
the
had
problem
that.
with the best of 9 is if it's a dominant series, it's so ass.
But you can say the same about a best 7. It's not that different. It's just an extra map. Like to me, it's more. I like the idea of the broader map pool to know really who is the best team. Like the more maps you have, the more we're seeing teams have to like spread out their map pools and who has the strongest map pool. And to me, that's the indication of who really should win the event.
I will say the complaints that everybody has, Turtle, like that stat kind of dispels it. Like if the team from winners is winning, I mean, and they weren't. You said 19-10 map 1. It might be like teams that win winners want more of an advantage, but it's still balancing out to where they're still winning it. The better team's winning, like you said.
I think the narrative got pushed when Ultra beat FaZe back in Cold War, and I think it was Major 2.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
Well, hold on, but with this context,
came in hot because they had to win 3 in a row, and they came in and just destroyed FaZe.
It was also different.
It's also different because winners finals was the first match on Sunday, which was ridiculous. I don't know what crack people to CDL were smoking. Think that was a good idea. You were actually iced for a while.
Right, that was different back then.
Yeah, I get it.
Interesting.
W's for best of 9, 1 map lead. I like that one.
Yeah, I think that's a better idea. The problem with 2 best of 5s is the final can be over in 25 minutes, which you don't want. So.
Well, thank you, Turtle. Appreciate it, bro. Also, I like stats.
Turtle is the go when it comes to stats, bro.
Also,
I like turtles.
Stats.
So 49er, can you stop roasting the Bears in chat, bro? We had a good season. What up, Swift? How we doing?
Good. So it was the Saudi amateur team who won the Challengers tournament, right?
Yep, 4-1.
Yeah, Rocky Sports.
Okay. So do you think that the Falcons would maybe replace Xnid with one of those players?
Well, Xnid played good.
Can we stop this fucking accent slander? Okay,
Yeah, he
couple
played
of
good.
things.
No, don't get me wrong. I love
Yeah.
Exton, but I mean, he's had a year and a half now to develop his game.
And
Bro, his
he's
team was
developed, though.
complete. Bro, okay, I'm not
lost a
cooking you, just to be
heartbreaker.
clear. But let me shuffle this one real quick, okay? I want you to think about him. I'm not saying he's going to become Joe Deceives, but think about the similar situation to Joe, bro. Okay, LAG when Joe got called up was just as fucking ass as Falcons was last year. And I'm gonna be honest with all the changes, all the stuff going on in that Falcons camp. I don't know how much Exton actually really learned last year. Generally, this is the best team that he's had. He's probably progressing real quick. You got to remember how much experience is in this fucking league now. When you look at like the top 8 teams and how little experience he has in these moments. These are the biggest series he's ever played in his fucking life. They're saying like on an actual good team. Like I think people got to be way more patient. I think Exton is solid. Yeah, he throws his life away. He's got a little bit things to clean up. He tweaks and he searches kills a bit too much and just let the game come to him. But like I don't think Exton's playing droppable COD right now. You know what I'm saying? And as for the Rock guys, I don't know if they've got, you know, how they're involved or if they are involved with Falcons contracts. I mean, they just don't. A lot of the guys you're talking about are more like AR players. The Rock guys play crazy style. If you go watch their VOD, the Rocky Sports, the way they play is crazy. I've never seen a team play like that. But the Exton's not getting dropped for a while, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he did have some droppable rounds, but I think in the respawn, he played pretty good. He's just he was freaking out, dude. This is like the exposure.
Yeah, and he's learning his English too last year, so
I think he's generally played fine, though.
Kind of reminds me of like Paco when he first joined the league.
Yeah, there was early on in this game, they had some opportunities. That was like they had a first blood with a nade. Exnid was holding B, and they 3-hit B in the 3v4 and killed Exnid. Just like the classic, like on an island, you can't die. And you just had a couple of moments like that cost them situations that you just got to expect them to be better in. So you can only learn from it. Now, if we go into this next split and that keeps happening, then maybe. But right now, you just keep developing him, and hopefully, because he's gotten so much better.
I would agree with that. I think his projection is on the uptrend, and I think he has a good chance to be a player that can help a team win. Just apart from some decision making that's not the best at times, I think he's been very improved, and especially for a Saudi team that wants a Saudi player. I don't think that, and like I mean, I didn't really watch the Challenger finals all that much, but I don't suspect that any of those players would be able to replace him and do immediately better than he is, even if that was the case. So
I mean, they'd have to get visas. I know the kick situation has been. I think Clay's talked about it, that like kicks was a little homesick. Also, if you watch the Rock guy play, the Rock team plays. They play psycho COD. Like they don't play. They just hit shit out. They don't play for a lot of spawns. Like they play a super weird style of COD. And I think it threw a lot of teams off this weekend.
So when I criticize players like this, Ray, Ben, I mean, you guys know it. It's like if he gets this out of his game, then he'll be fine. It's just like shit like this. This is 2-3 game 5. This changes the whole game. I mean, they got first blood. It's a 4v3. He's too active at B. Like these are the things that he just has to improve on. That's an unacceptable death. And he had quite a few of those in their S&Ds.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, dude, what are you gonna do? Like the guy's new. He's a year and a half in. He's probably freaking out. It's game 5 versus FaZe. You know, like it's his first time in this situation. I mean,
bro, I talked to Clay a lot, and like he's going through a lot of like. Again, I think last year was just like a weird year, and he didn't learn a lot. Like he's still learning little things this year. I was talking to Clay. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be telling the story. Like they're trying to help. Like they're trying to help him figure out how to get his like side tone in a good spot and like his headset. You know what I'm saying? There's just like little things that a lot of these guys know or have experience in because they've been in the league for 6 years. This guy is in year 2, and honestly, last year they were pulling up on Fridays and we're out of the tournament in 25 minutes. So like, everybody just needs to be patient. You know, maybe he doesn't pan out and this is his level, and they got to rotate him out, or you know, similar to the situation with like Joe Deceives, like he kind of figures it out and he kicks it on from there.
Yeah, that's just like my main question is if you'd think one of the other players from the Challengers team could do better, but 100% get what you're saying.
Well, thank you for the question though, Swift. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for the content. I appreciate all you.
No problem. All right, we're going to do one last question, chat, because we're pushing 2 hours and 30-something minutes. Last one, Zolan.
Good show, though.
Yeah, this is a great show. I've been having a good time. Zoland, you there, buddy? Oh, you didn't join yet. Give you a couple seconds.
I think that thing I gotta realize, Han, is when I make the invite link for the stage, I think it only works for one person, and then once the invite link is used, like it's dead. I gotta figure out how to in this Discord get a more
Yo, what's
permanent
good,
invite
guys?
link.
Oh, okay, bet.
What's
Yeah,
good,
we gotta
man?
figure that out then.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yo, Zolan,
Yep.
when you click that link, was it just a
Perfect.
unique link, or did it just bring you right to the channel?
It brings me right to the channel.
Okay, maybe it works. But what's your question?
This is mostly for Ben, and I think Rambo. I'm sure you won't to talk about. Last year, so Neptune was in the first option, right? And Ben, I know you were somewhat pushing, Prop that he shouldn't be the first option. I remember that clip
For which team and which situation?
Neptune, that he was messaging people after champs,
So you're talking
and
about the FAZE situation from the offseason.
yes, exactly. So he talked about yesterday. He was saying that he wasn't the first one to do it, and that other people were doing it. So my question was, even for Rambo, if he wants to speak about it, what was going on, and what's the reason why you went against him out of all people, Ben?
I don't
Not
go
went against him, but the press, not the prop you were pushing, were somewhat against him.
Okay, a couple of things here. So I saw the clip that he said from stream. I don't know the context of like him claiming he's our teammates were talking to people. When was that? Was that in between Champs and EWC? Were they doing it mid tournament? Like
Yeah,
supposedly
no,
where he was. That context is obviously missing in that conversation.
No, he said after champs. Between champs.
Okay, but like, but the issue is like, I think the issue wasn't. I mean, if we want to litigate this, sure, but like, because we'll get clipped, whatever. But like, I think the issue is less like talking to people in that gap. Because to Ray's point, I think they all knew the ride was over soon. I think the issue is more like when you're supposed to be locked in a tournament and it's in the middle of the tournament. Like those are not combos you should be having if you're still in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure he'll never do that again. Like that's probably obviously not an advice thing. So I don't know. I watched the clip, like that context wasn't there in the clip.
I think he did specify though that it was after champs and other people were doing it, right? But it was somehow him that was painted in the bad picture. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, this is a Ray question because I wasn't in that camp.
Ahead,
so like, I think Ray can speak a little bit maybe to more than
I
this.
can tell you firsthand, the first time I heard about anything at this was at EWC. Some player from another team brought it up to me, and I hadn't heard anything prior to that from anyone. I'm assuming the players, I mean, think about me being a coach's career. I think that's the last thing any of my players would want me to know from them. So obviously there's no discussion there. But I think to Ben, like what I said before about this is more, it's weird because it's like you don't want to be, to me it's almost like it's a weird situation to talk about, period, if you're a player that's still, because we were a contender team, right? Like we had a good chance to win the WC. Like you don't really want to be talking to other teams about what's going to happen afterwards, because it does show kind of like your head's not necessarily in the best place. But at the same time, if you're able to be professional about it, it doesn't really change anything. As long as like you're still invested in what's going on, you're more putting the thought of potentially something happening after that, because you know that this situation is going to stick out because of reasons that have been discussed. So I don't really think it's not like all of that happened to me was kind of weird, because it, in a way, it matters. It matters only if the player is not able to stay professional about his current situation while doing that.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
sketching we used to do back in the day, like, I mean, and you can attest to this.
Bro.
It was way worse back in the day,
bro.
bro.
We had
Even Carver said in the chat, Jacob sketched on me mid-tourney for Optic, bro.
At mid
I've been there.
ESWC, I was teaming, and I got word of that new Optic team that was forming at the end of Goes. Me and Cap showed up the next day, made our names free agent 1 2 3 4 5, and just using pistols. Like I was like,
I've told the story how at season 1 playoffs from War 2, right? The FaZe boys who didn't have a good placing in Birmingham lost that first series and got kicked out of my fucking hotel room in the middle of the night. So Tommy and Dylan could talk to Sebastian, who's then owner of FaZe, about picking up Ken and Lamar. And obviously FaZe went on to win that tournament and like didn't end up making the change. But like the way this works in pro, there's a level. The thing is, this is an esports thing because it does happen in the pros, but they have actual tradecraft. Like the way they do it in the pros with this tampering shit is they do it through intermediaries. So like the players and the parties involved all wash their hands because associated parties are talking to other associated parties. And, I'm saying like, I can't speak. Those people are just, they could be just talking in the wind. You know what I'm saying? Like, wash my hands of it.
I think that whole situation was just blown out to where like everyone everyone talked about it like it mattered like a ton, when in reality I don't really think it mattered all that much.
Exactly.
Like if I'm a team that's looking for a player, and I hear, oh, Nep was like talking to other teams about being picked up, is that really going to impact my decision to pick him up or not? I don't really think so.
Probably not.
Like his contract
Yeah.
was up. Those situations don't really matter specifically in that moment. It's not the best thing to hear as a teammate. That I can see why, like how certain players have reacted to those things, because you don't really want to hear about those things. But I just think it was overblown, to be honest.
Well, thank you for
Ray,
that
when,
question.
let me ask you a question if you feel comfortable answering this or not. Like when FAZE offseason starts, FAZE know that like MC's a free agent. They don't know what they're doing with Tyler. They don't know where Zach's going. Like they hit you up, right, to probably talk about Abuza in 04. Like you had given them some early
Like
kind of.
so Crowder hit me up talking about Jordan Abuza. That was the only player. That's the only person ever reached out to talk about. And nobody else reached out to me to talk about any player except him.
'Cause I don't
did
know
speak
how that
to-
04 ended up on the radar. Was that like a, you know what I'm saying, like
I couldn't tell you. That wasn't. I won't make assessments on
Probably
that, because that
simp
wasn't.
on one hand.
Yeah, that wasn't something that I was a part of in any capacity. The only person that asked me anything was Crowder about Jordan, and I guessed Jordan because why wouldn't I? That's the only discussion I had. I did talk to Vios at the very start of the offseason, and we just kind of like had a discussion about how our year went and how their year went and so on and so forth, but there wasn't anything there about any specifics. So I honestly, I think just this whole situation, I think like kind of what you're saying with how professional sports do it compared to us, it's a little different. But I just don't. I would assume, and again, this is me being on the outside of things, right? I would completely assume that anything that was about that specific story, hopefully did not impact teams' decisions on where they wanted to go for players. Whether that was right or wrong, hopefully that wasn't the reason why I didn't go for him.
I'll be honest.
there's a lot of
though.
context to this Neptune thing that people don't realize is like there was a lot of involving, I'll say it's involving thieves. So like you guys remember the undercurrent of like the offer to thieves about scrap. Like there was a lot, the thief situation and like the conversations that are happening within that camp and the players they were talking to led to like a lot of our teams thinking that there's a world in which Scrap and Paco might like potentially leave, even though that wasn't like a realistic chance. So like there's just a lot of combos going on at the same time and people targeting the same people. And like, and then, you know, Kason did a stream in the midst of all that storm and said a few things. And it's like, I said a few things on stream. Trav and I talked about it afterwards in the DM. I think we left off at a good spot. Like, it's just, but people are like bringing that back up and not remembering like all the context of what happened in those situations.
I wasn't bringing it up like just regarding him, but it's more like for you guys, right? The casters, the people with a voice. You guys should watch out more with like how you talk about a player, because you knew, right? He only had a 1-year contract, and obviously the rest of the team, they had a 2-year, which would end that same year, right? It shouldn't have been that big of a deal. And apparently other players were doing this. So I feel like you guys should watch out, and because that could paint a player in a bad picture, which could fuck up their bag, you know?
Bro, well, hold on. I'm gonna hold on. No. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick, but like I've had this version of this conversation 9 times a year.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing, bro. The only thing that should matter if you work or you're a player or a team, the only thing that should matter is your crew. It should not matter what the fuck I'm saying, Ray's saying, what Ant's saying, what Patrick Price is saying, what Tommy's saying, what Zinni's saying, what Dylan's saying. It doesn't matter what the outside world thinks. The only thing that should matter is what's inside your camp. The rest of that is fucking noise. So I always hate that argument because it's like if you're making roster changes or deciding if players are good on what I'm yapping about while I drink a fucking, you know, Starbucks cup, like you shouldn't be in a front office position. I'm saying my opinion shouldn't matter to you.
Just from the sake of the conversation, though, like I've obviously me being on the other side of this for the last 5-6 years, I would argue that especially a lot of these young players will. It's not like you're listening to this and making it law, but you hear these things and they do kind of affect the way you view certain players and certain things when they're said. As much as like I 100% agree. Like if we're all like perfectly mature adults, we'd understand that a lot of things that being said on the outside shouldn't matter to the inside. But to a certain extent, there's a lot of things said about certain people that you don't really know. Like if I don't really know a player that much, I'm hearing the stuff on the outside, and
it's gonna change your view for sure.
It's gonna change your view. It's gonna affect your perception on things. That's just the way it is. Like it's human nature. brain. So it's like I don't know. It's a weird one. I can
So
see where you're coming from.
my response to that, Ray, is if it's a front office person, you have the ability to go out and get
Well, yeah.
information.
Yeah,
like-
front
like-
office. Okay,
and-
more
and-
speaking
you
to the
gotta do
players.
your
I'm
due
more
And
speaking
the
to
diligence to
player
figure out
too,
shit for
bro. Like,
yourself.
listen, bro, a life skill that everybody should have as you get older is the ability to tell if people are bullshitting or not. Like,
as you get older.
yeah, because when you're younger, it's hard, but like as you get older, you kind of know.
Not all these players are old though.
But that's fair if we're talking about player to player stuff. But like,
That's more where I'm coming at. I don't
Yeah.
know where he was going with it specifically, but that's more where I would think of. That's where the kind of the hurtful aspect of things can come in.
Listen, what a question by Zolan.
It was a great,
great
question.
I mean, these are the types of questions that we need coming into the podcast. I appreciate it, my boy. And listen, congrats on MVP at Major 1 and the voice changer. Appreciate you, Neptune. Peace. All right, thank you guys so much for watching.
What a show, man! Clap it up. I think this is our best episode we've ever done.
That might have been Neptune on a ringer. I don't know.
I think this is the best episode we've ever done. Ant, what do you agree?
I do too. I think
That's a banger.
when the community's lit, when the games are good, we're just gonna have fun, man. And that's exactly what happened. I hope that we build off of this community as a community, off of Major 1, and continue this trajectory that we're on right now. We're going to the UK. We've heard that it's already sold out. We got a couple dream hacks. Like, this is about to be incredible, dude.
Do we just before we end the show, have we heard anything about potential map changes coming in for the stage 2?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to the devs a lot, Ray, at the event. They're all for it. I mean, really, it's like League Ops just got to figure out, and the pros, what maps they want. Like, they were saying they think Sake is going to be a good map and that the players might really like it. So hopefully the players play test Sake. I've talked to Spence a bit. He's been playing and play testing, Fringe, and there's some potential issues on Fringe. I haven't played Hardpoint Fringe in competitive atmosphere yet, but from what I'm told, and maybe Damon or somebody else in the chat could tell me, the spawns on Grandma's Hill are messed up right now. So whether they can adjust that, maybe we'll see that. And apparently it's like, even if you're back silos, which used to block, they'll spawn globe behind you. So I haven't played.
It's gonna mix.
I haven't played it yet, so I can't say that I've seen it, but that's what I've been told. And then Utopia, I guess from tests, a lot of people didn't exactly love it because of the way the right side of the map is. So I don't know. We got to get some changes in though. We got to get at least 2 new maps in, 1 for Hardpoint, 1 for Search, and ideally 1 for Overload as well, which would be awesome. So hopefully Sake works. But yeah.
So the thing I say is the league last year made decisions based on veto percentage, and they really fucked up with regards to Rewind Hardpoint. They can't make that same mistake again. Like, like they got to really evaluate, and it's got to be a collective conversation. It's got to be a collective conversation. In an ideal world, there would be a competition committee that deals with these issues, but we don't have one. It's a black box. So let's see what the black box gives us.
Sign us up, Benjay. Right here.
I'm down.
It's the
Let's do
group.
it. Let's run it.
Before we go, I just want to pull up the roadmap because there are a bunch of new maps coming in. There's like 3. Where the hell's the
rank coming out? Rank's coming out tomorrow, yeah.
Rank comes out tomorrow. Dude, we're lit.
But then, I mean, typically they put these new maps in there so like people can play them and test them out, kind of, no?
So
yeah, and I don't think pros are scrimming until the weekend, and probably only one day on the weekend because I don't think anyone wants to play on Sunday.
I'll say this: the devs are locked, bro. Like, they're on it. Like, there were some things I saw this week. They said they're on it. I have full faith in them the rest of this year. But we're getting slums. I don't know if that can be maybe Overload. It could be a good Overload map, right?
Yeah, potentially.
Like, if you put one. Like, where are you putting Overload? You probably put one in the where my mouse is right here. What's that? Is that P2? I think. Yeah.
I'm just picturing spawn kills central on slums, bro.
And then one over here, and then you could on the other side maybe put one down here, and I don't know, maybe. It could probably be a search map. And then we got Sake, which apparently is going to be pretty good. Hopefully.
Sake.
Torment. I think visually this map would just be hard. I don't think people want to play it. Well, there's opportunity here, so get the fuck on it, Damon, and figure it out and add a map.
Yeah, Damon, get the fuck on it, bro. Yeah, get the fuck out of Twitch chat.
And you guys lost, so that you have reason to like add a map. You know what I mean? Like,
Jesus.
It
That's sour take.
I agree on the Colo SD thing, Damon. Obviously, that map is. It's all just mid round and some timings.
Yeah,
and,
but it had the best moments of the event, Ben.
I know that's why I don't think they're gonna get rid of it, bro. I think
Yeah.
For the
the
wrong reasons, so.
yeah, for potentially the wrong reasons, but I don't think the league will get rid of it.
Best episode we've ever
They
done.
should get rid of like you could argue get rid of Scar. Like that map is so like
Oh yeah, Scar S&D, get it up out of here. Get it up out of here. I've
Yeah.
seen enough.
Let's
I've
talk
seen
about
enough.
it next episode.
Yep, we will.
all right, I agree.
Appreciate you guys